Come St. Lucie and the rest of Barbados. It is time to stand up for clean water. We know the struggle. Nasty water, stained toilets, and the daily worry. But together we can make a change. Join the protest march for clean, safe water in our parish. Bring a small bottle of your nasty water. Yes, the same water they are saying is safe to drink. And let it speak louder than words. Walk with your conch shells, walk with drums, walk with your whistles, walk with anything that can make noise. Let us make this happen. This is our moment. The people of St. Lucie, show up, speak out, and let us make clean water a reality. People, the people of St. Lucie deserves better.
Rain or shine on the road, we mashing up the rag up high, the rhythm sweet, bassline pushing through we feel.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, boys and girls. This is the Marcia Week Show, and you are watching us live from Barbados. Oh, there's a coming through there. Yeah, so there is something that is happening. So I'm going to go out, and as I go out, there's a new song Dave is going to play for us. I think it's settled down now, though. Are you hearing a repeat, guys? So Dave, I will wait for Dave to put up the new song.
What we do? We marching. We marching. Behind the big truck, loyal opposition, we moving up. Behind the big truck. no turning back. Behind the big truck on the track. What we do? We marching. We marching. Behind the big truck, loyal opposition, we moving up. Behind the big truck. You. Piano. Sun come up, I feel the vibe. Time to move, we come alive. Step by step, no turning back. Behind the big truck on the track.
He said, stand tall, lift up your hand. Build this nation strong and grand. From the hills straight down to the bay, we run, we business the Bayesian way. But now the times feel strange and so things don't look like they did before. Still I believe what he's standing for. Barrow spirit live evermore. He says stand tall, lift your head high. From cane fields reach to the sky. Education free so the youth could try. But now we struggling hard to get by. Foreign hands owning every show. We losing grip on we own decor. Talking about freedom but who it for? This ain't the dream he was fighting for. Not my hero Barrow no more. This ain't the Barbados he built before. We losing faith but the soul still pure. We run we business the Bayesian way for sure. Not my hero Barrow no more. But I still believe in what he stood for. The pride still deep down in the core. Barrow spirit knocking on we door. Land gone cheap, but the cost real steep. Foreign keys where Bayesian hands should keep. Promises made while the people sleep. Now justice talk sounds small and weak. Culture on sale, identity frail. Still the young ones dream, they set sail. But borrow words like wind in the gale. Say hold this rock, it will prevail. Not my hero Barrow no more. This ain't the Barbados he built before. We losing faith but the soul still pure. We run we business the Bayesian way for sure. Not my hero Barrow no more. But I still believe in what he stood for. The pride still deep down in the core. Barrow spirit knocking on we door. Tourism bill on pause, the people demand. Cybercrime hush freedom to speak we must. Now selling we birthright for a 6-month stay. Integrity lost in the parliament dust. But hope ain't dead, it just need flame. We still could rise and call him name. Barrow dream ain't fading shame. We could live this land again. They took his jacket, blame Ninja Man. Try and twist truth with a Slater van. Even tried move independence plan. But you can't change the flag nor rename the land. His dream still strong, his purpose grand. Time to lift up we hand in hand. Reclaim the pride, rebuild we stand. Bring back the spirit Barrow plan. Not my hero Barrow no more. But we could bring back what he fought for. Lift we flag and open the door. We run we business the Bayesian way for sure. Not my hero Barrow no more. But his spirit still walking upon this shore. We claiming back what we stood for. One people, one heart, one future sure.
Forevermore.
Do you love that song? Do you all love that song? Oh my goodness. I tell you, somebody said murder. I love the lyrics. Good night to every single one of you. I am just so excited to be with you. Tonight we have a great show lined up for you. Tonight we're talking about dirty water, Uber takeover, and the land giveaway, Barbados and Nevis exposed, folks. It is an amazing night that is lined up for you. I'm hoping that you are all ready. Seatbelts on and we're ready to go. Tonight we hold no punches. We're going to pull no punches because across the Caribbean, citizens are rising up as governments sell out our rights. They're selling out our lands, people, and our livelihoods. And the people are left to suffer in silence. But not tonight. From Nevis to Barbados, we're going to uncover the truth they don't want you to hear. You all ready? In Nevis, what's really happening with the land is this so-called free society project where 10% of the island will be sold to create a new state for 10,000 non-Nevisans. A bold plan. Is this a bold plan or a betrayal? I'm hoping that a lot of you would remember the shows we had previously on this topic. Well, tonight, Dr. Kevin DALY is going to give us the facts from the ground. And in Barbados, Uber signs up over 400 taxi operators. Can you imagine that? And we only knew about it on what? Was it Monday or Monday or so we heard about it? And today is Wednesday, and they've signed up 400 taxi operators already, leaving what's going to happen to the other taxi operators, the local taxi operators. What does this mean for local transport, small businesses, and national control? Tonight, we're going to look at some of what Dunksman is saying. He's not a guest on the show, but we're going to look at some of what he's saying. Influencer Dunksman calls on drivers to reject the Uber invasion. Will they listen? After a tragic PSV crash injures 25 school children, how should the government and public respond? We're going to also look at that. Where is the accountability? St. Lucie residents, we're not forgetting you at all. Yeah, they're still expected to be drinking brown, dirty water years later. Why must citizens beg for clean water in 2025 when clean water is a right, people? Clean drinking water is a right, it's a human right. Our panel tonight is Dr. Kevin DALY from Nevis, Zika John, youth activist from Barbados, right here, Mark Baker from St. Lucie. We have a resident who is going to be speaking tonight. And we have Senator David Gill, former BLP Senator and MP. He's going to join us by way of phone as well. So join the discussion, join the movement, and join the protest march. The protest march is this Saturday at 10 a.m. And can anybody tell us what the theme of the march is, what the title of the march is? Who knows what the title of the march is? Write it in the comment section. Write it. Mia couldn't care less. And it's this Saturday, 10 a.m. from Massacre Park to Independent Square. And we're saying, bring a bottle of brown water. I'm hearing an echo there. Yeah. Bring your bottle of brown water. All right. So Dave, you could go ahead and play the ad as I just before we our first guest comes to us. Not seeing the ad at all. Well, good evening to everybody. Let me just quickly just call a few names. I can't call all of your names tonight. So very sorry. We are on schedule tonight. Monica Teroni, Judy Jilks on from 518, Flo, Joe, Marcia Miller, Mavis Lashley. How you doing, Jefferson, Ronald Archer, Owen Hines, Marcia, Naira Griffith, how are you? Oh my goodness, Angela Burke and Cami and Sam Igbo and Aaron Hunt. Oh my Lord, Judy, how are you doing, Judy? Prayers up for you, Matthew Brown, Shirley. Welcome to everybody. I can't call you all tonight. You know you're welcome. I'll try to message you during the rest of the show. But folks, as I said, we're on business tonight, guys. We are on business tonight. We're flowing tonight, okay? Well, tonight, guys, I want to welcome Dr. Kevin Daly to the Marcia Week Show. He's a senior lecturer from Nevis, Nevis Sixth Form College. He's a lecturer at Nevis Sixth Form College, a science lecturer. Director, PS, Ministry of Agriculture. Wow. He's the president of the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College, president of the Nevis Reformation Party, and chairman of Nevis Reformation Party, St. Paul Constituency Branch. This man is a busy man, and I know he's a talk show host as well. So join me, folks, as we welcome Dr. Kevin Daly to the Marcia Week Show. Welcome, Dr. Daly.
Good evening, Marcia. You can hear me well?
Yes, I'm hearing you
right.
Loud and clear.
Thank you for having me on your broadcast. I just, by way of saying that, I'm not doing all those things at once. Those are past professions. I am retired now. I'm just a politician wannabe right now.
You're a politician wannabe. And so I take it you live in Nevis?
Yes, I do. I live in Nevis. I've been back home since 1991. I was away in the States studying, and then I came back home 1991, started a business. Actually, I've been to Barbados several times, spent 3 weeks perfecting my business plan at BIMAP. Is it still operating?
Really?
Yes.
BIMAP is still operating, but so you went, that's where you went? Yes,
I was required to go there by my bankers to make sure my business plan was perfect. So I do thank them for helping me craft it way back when in 1991.
That is very that's awesome. And you know, I'm hearing of the great work you are doing there in Nevis. I did my own little research on the ground there, and they told me actually that you were one of the first ones who raised this issue of the free society in Nevis, sir, where there seemed to be creating a nation within a nation, right there in Nevis. Can you tell us what about it that concerned you, and how did you learn about it? Because it didn't seem like the average Nevisan. I'm still learning to say that. Nevisian. Am I saying that correct? I'm good?
Yeah. That's fine.
The average Nevisan did seem to not have known about it. What interested you about it, and how did you hear about it?
It was purely by chance, actually. I was talking to a good friend of mine, and he mentioned the fact that he had been in contact with the wife of the premier about selling his land and his family's land. They have quite a sizable holding in the area. And so he mentioned some key words which triggered me, because he mentioned in communication with them, they mentioned something about setting up a sovereign enclave. And that piqued my curiosity. And so I continued to look at the literature that he gave me, and found out that there was this plan afoot to develop this sovereign enclave on the southeast of Nevis. In the first instance, they wanted to get their hands on 6 square miles of Nevis, which is about 1/6. Nevis is only 36 square miles. And what really disturbed me, that the push, the actual tip of the spear, was coming from the premier and his wife. She was the realtor. She is the realtor for these people, and he, of course, being the premier, it makes things a little easier for them to deal with the matter of acquiring this huge tract of land. And he at first, when the story broke in 2024, of course, he didn't get much traction because nobody believed such a ridiculous thing could happen.
Yeah, it sounded ludicrous, really.
It sounded totally ridiculous. But it sort of went dormant for a while, and then happenstance happened again, where one of our persons in NRP at a town hall meeting, Ms. Carlin Lawrence, asked a simple question. Mr. Premier, I'm hearing there's going to be a development on the Southeast. Is there any truth to it? And he flatly denied it and said it was a rumor. But that was in July of this year. And then by July, late July, the Special Sustainability Zone Act was passed in Parliament just a few weeks later. And so when he was pushed to give a comment, he said that he did have conversations with the developers, but no hard documentation had reached to him. But what is very disturbing, Marcia, is the fact that you had a situation where for 3 years, they were quietly acquiring significant tracts of land, which now, what we now understand to be totally over 1,500 acres in expanse. And so
wow.
It was the best kept secret on Nevis. Not anymore. Unfortunately, we have not had sight of the proposed development agreement. The Premier has refused to release it. He has refused to release the 70 odd names of developers he said that are on the list. The whole thing has been mired in secrecy. And as the introduction indicated, throughout the region, we are seeing a situation now where the people are being left out of the conversation and only brought in when there is a crisis. For example, now we have the bill being passed in Parliament on August 11th, 2025, and we only now having consultations. I don't understand the ridiculousness of this. How can you be having a consultation after the fact? They
passed the bill. They passed the bill, and they're now having a consultation on it.
Yeah, it's total disrespect for the people.
Yeah, can I tell you? And you see how you're saying, Barbadians? Do you hear what he's saying? That this is disrespectful to the people of Barbados. Don't we see that this is what has continually happened in Barbados, where bills are passed and then they have consultation afterwards?
It's highly insulting. I mean, the Premier has had meetings now with the Chamber of Industry and Commerce. He has meeting with the Tourism Authority, with the Hotel Association. He has meeting with the church. He's planning meetings with the police and Sixth Form College, and then a general town hall meeting in the rest of Nevis. These things are ridiculously crafted because they're not willing to give an inch. They're simply informing us that they are going to have a town hall without any modicum of appreciation that the bill need to be repealed. The Prime Minister, Dr. Drew, is just as guilty about this. There is actually the belief that both are colluding on this matter over the fact that in the case of St. Kitts, you have a CBI, the Citizenship by Investment Program, that has been hemorrhaging, totally hemorrhaging, since the new regulations have been put in place. And whatever these persons have presented them, they see a revival in their fortunes by embracing this special zone. Because on Nevis, what is proposed are 10,000 settlers, all of which will have citizenship, Marcia.
Wow.
You can imagine that. If I go down into Bridgetown and drop 10,000 citizens of another country, how would you feel? Who will accept
But
that?
can I could tell you right now, we have a free movement. They're making into law, free movement within 4 Caribbean countries where they could just come in, and after 6 months, Dr. Daly, they could apply for citizenship right here in Barbados. And we're actually having a march on Saturday about that. So I know we would not be, tolerating anything like that in Barbados at all. And let me ask you something. These 10,000 persons, they're coming from places like where this guy is from. I mean, he seems like he's Dutch from
Yeah,
a lot of.
yeah. They're coming from Europe. They're coming from America, Asia. Whole different culture, whole different custom, whole different everything, and they're parked. They're gonna be parked just 1 mile outside our capital city, Charlestown. They will have the power to vote immediately upon receiving their citizenship.
Immediately. Barbados, stop and listen to this man. He's a prophet.
Right.
He's speaking to you tonight, Barbados. This is exactly what Mia Motley. I know you all, Dr. Daly. Allow me to interject a little bit in here because we are here to educate, motivate, mobilize, and agitate. And I want my Barbadian people to realize that Mia Motley is doing the same thing. And a lot of you in Nevis and St. Kitts, oh, you adore Miss Motley. But I tell you, she is doing the exact thing. Now, let me ask you something. So you're telling me that there's a chance that on Nevis, you might have more persons who you might have a greater number of people who are not of the African descent for the first time in Nevis.
It's not a chance, Marcia. It's not a chance.
What do you mean?
It's a prediction. It's a certainty. It's a certainty. If you're starting with 10,000 and you have each person, these are adults, this is the first wave, and they have in the average household 4. I mean, you're already going to 14,000. Right? Our population on Nevis is 13,000. So within a decade, we are going to be the minority.
So the black people will be the minority.
We'll be the minority. That is a fact. That's not a guess. That's a fact. That's not a guess.
And they get citizenship as soon as they get there, and they are going to be able to vote.
Of course. Now the premier, in his kind of illogical way, trying to appease and to quiet down the storm of protests about that particular fact, has said to the church of our people, lying to the church, that the government will introduce legislation that will prevent these particular citizens from voting. How ridiculous is that? So you're not saying you're going to create 2 different classes of citizens?
So hold a minute. Wouldn't that be unconstitutional if they're citizens? How they
It cannot happen. You cannot have 2 classes of citizens. You're either a citizen or you're not. You either have rights as a citizen or you don't. So he has come out and said, no. See, what's happening? Every time there's a crack in the dam, they try to poke their fingers to stop that leak. And then another crack opens up, they stick a finger in that one to try to stop that leak. And all of a sudden you have all these 10 fingers and 10 toes in this dam. And you're not getting anywhere because the law needs to be repealed. It is poorly crafted. As a matter of fact, there's evidence that the law was not crafted by the AG's chambers, the Attorney General's chambers. It was crafted by one of the developers. That is what is being said. Because how it is that you have a law crafted, it's so in favor of them, and we are in the worst of it. For example, the Premier spoke eloquently about we are going to exact $75 million penalty against them if they breach any tenet of the agreement. Right? What he failed to tell people is what is our liability to them if we breach theirs. You want to take a guess, Marcia? What our penalty is if we repeal the law or we stop the development? Let us suppose NRP wins the next general elections, and Dr. Hodge decides as the Premier of Nevis, I am going to repeal this law. I'm going to stop this because it is not good for the people of Nevis. It's terrible
They
for the
can
people
sue
of
you.
Nevis.
Can they sue the government?
They will, because it's in the agreement. They have the power to sue the government to recover costs. But do you know what the penalty is if we repeal? Take a guess. They are charging us, we are charging them 75 million US if they walk away. Now, common sense will tell you, well, maybe we'll have to order the same 75 million US.
Right,
No,
yeah.
no. We will have to pay them 23 billion.
What?
Billion with a B if we withdraw from the arrangement.
No.
I'm telling you.
No, Dr. Daly.
So it is meant to prevent any incoming government to change anything, to handcuff any government coming in to this agreement. And you ask yourself, well, why is it like that? Who stands to benefit if this continues?
Can you repeat this? Repeat what you just said there for us. This is the Special Sustainability Development Act, okay?
Yeah.
And you're saying that if another government comes in and decides to repeal this law, that will allow 10,000 Europeans to go live in Nevis in a separate state.
Yes.
Create a separate state within Nevis. Don't pay any taxes.
That's right.
Okay, they become citizens. They can vote, and if anybody repeals this, that you're telling me that the country would have to pay $23 billion
US dollars.
US dollars. But if they rescind on it, they are only 75 million. Who signed this? Who signed this agreement?
Well, they say it's not a done deal yet. The Prime Minister has said that the law, which is very true, the agreement has to come before the Federal Parliament for ratification. It has to pass to the NIA Assembly for ratification. But in the NIA Assembly, Marcia, the existing government has a majority. So that's a rubber stamp. So that's a done deal. On St. Kitts, the Federal Parliament is in agreement with Mark Brantley on Nevis. So that's a done deal. They don't have the vote to stop it. Right? My question today to the Prime Minister, are you aware that if the agreement is torn up and the bill repealed, that these people of St. Kitts and Nevis, not just Nevis alone, both islands will be liable for 23 billion US dollars worth of cost? Because they're not being honest with the people and telling them the real truth about the liability that we face if this thing goes south. They're not being truthful. They're being very opaque, very secretive. They're not being outright with the people. They're not being forthright with the people. And that is the greatest tragedy here. It is a tragedy on us because we have come through so much as a people to arrive at this point, only to give it away because of political expediency. The NIA is broke. They have $600 million debt against a GDP of 650 million. The recurrent revenue is stagnant. They are broke. And one of the reasons why these people have targeted St. Kitts and Nevis is because of that very reason. They target vulnerable, cash-strapped economies that are on financial ruin. And also, you have to be corrupt enough to go on that side. And that is what we face. We are facing a storm of persons who are corrupt, people who are incompetent, cannot lead, and have run the country broke. That is the tsunami that we are facing in this country. And I don't know how anybody in the right mind could look at this legislation and say, this is good for Nevis. You're giving up you know something, Marcia, to be honest with you. Imagine a place in Bridgetown, all right? say 1 square mile of Bridgetown, that the Bridgetown police cannot enter because they have no jurisdiction. They cannot pursue a criminal into the zone because they have no jurisdiction. Imagine offloading cargo in Bridgetown Port, headed to the zone, and your customs have no control over it.
Well, can I tell you, Dr. Daly, we have something here that you know, our Prime Minister is setting up, which is not like yours, directly like yours, but it's called a free zone. Yeah. And so she now has, there's a piece of land. I'm just, you know, just letting you know what we're dealing with as well, Dr. Daly, is that there's a piece of land that was owned by the people of Barbados, and she actually gave it away free to the Afro-Exim Bank. Okay. And then we found out, we got the agreement. Somebody sent it to us. They didn't put it up, but we got it. And in that agreement, sir, this bank has a full immunity, all of the staff, for anything that they do on that compound or relating to the bank. So we're seeing a similar thing. It's like it's set up right there in Bridgetown, and it seems as though we're not sure that this is what is going to happen for the entire stretch. They're putting up a lot of hotels and creating a free zone. So that is just a step below what is happening here. They pay no income tax, no direct taxes, no taxes at all they pay. So it's a very similar situation that is happening. And don't forget, I don't know if you know, but in Barbados, Dr. Daly, what's going to happen now with this free movement is that after 9 months, those persons who come into the country, regardless of where they're from, they can apply for citizenship. Oh, wow. So while yours is a right on as they arrive, these can apply as soon as they arrive. I mean, 9 months later, wherever they come from, they could come from Holland, wherever they come in from, they are allowed to apply. You know, so those are the things that we are marching about here in Barbados. So as you speak, sir, I'm connecting the dots here with Barbados and saying we are just one little step away from what is happening. So tell us more. We want to know, because we want to be able to see all the danger signs. Go right ahead.
Well, you see, we are on Nevis and St. Kitts, the guinea pig in the Eastern Caribbean, in CARICOM. Yes. As a matter of fact, in the English-speaking Caribbean. We are the guinea pigs. This has never been tried anywhere with any constitutional democracy. This is the first in the world. And we are the guinea pigs. Everybody's looking at us to see how this thing pans out. All right? And from what we are seeing here on the ground, it is something to be totally avoided. You lose control of your country. All right? Your neighbors are now billionaires with the power to corrupt the political process, to get whatever they want from government, if they're not the government. All right? The law as it stands now, one of the provisions in the law, which is very, very scary, allows the zone operators, the developers, to expand to any limit outside of the zone. So you may start, they say they want to start with 2,400 acres, which is about 4 miles. Still a huge tract of land, but the law permits them. And if you try to stop them, they sue you, because they have the power to sue you if you try to stop them from expanding beyond the 4 miles. You cannot stop them. It's in the legislation to be passed.
Wow.
Right? So these are the kind of control, these are the kind of red flags that the Bajans need to understand. Where this thing starts is not where it's going to end. This is the first landing party to speak of. The rest are going to come. Because these people, these libertarians, which are really ultra-conservative, far-right people, they want, for years now, decades now, they want a country to call their own. Why don't they do it in Belgium? Why don't they do it in Canada? Why don't they do it in Asia or the UK or wherever else? Why come here? because those governments will never tolerate it. Why are we tolerating it? I mean, are we this dense that we can't see for ourselves the danger that our leadership is dragging us down the drain with this nonsense? You know, what they're doing to us is criminal. Pure out treasonous criminality. Hidden in this idea that is development. It's not development, it's domination. It is pure out domination, not development. And people must know the difference. Because the world is full of special economic zones. The world is full of free zones. But this is the first one. And we are the ones on it with a population of 13,000, 46 square miles, barely hanging on for life. And these guys come along and we just open our doors to them and say, come in. One of the frightening things about this Marcia, we have in our island here of Nevis the potential for geothermal energy. Initially, the government said, the existing government said, they're going to pair with the federal government to develop geothermal. They got some money from the Saudi fund, they got some money from CDB. Now we are hearing, oh, forget all that. Forget all that. We are going to link up with the same zone developers to provide the financing for geothermal. Right? Now, imagine you have now moved as a developer who promised sustainability, mind you. You said the sustainability factor is what sells, is what's going to sell this development. Now you remove the fact that they were responsible for their own energy to now you giving them your energy. So you know as a Nevisan, we know as Nevisans, we'll be buying power from them.
Oh my gosh.
You understand what I'm talking about?
These
We will now be buying power from the settlers.
But Dr. DALY, I can't believe these are leaders that were elected, duly elected by the people of Nevis, and they would have sold out the country like that. What did they get to? There has to have been some kickback, something.
Let me tell you what the payout is. The premier's wife, who is the sole real estate agent.
This is the premier on the screen here, right?
Yes, the premier. He's smiling all over to the bank.
Oh my gosh.
The premier's wife is the sole agent to try to acquire the acreage needed for this development. They're saying 2,400 acres, you can go even higher than that. You could imagine the commission on selling 2,400 acres of land. The fee here is 10% of the value of the land. So imagine for a moment how much money she stands to make. The premier himself, he has a law firm. His law firm, guess who's going to do all of the property transfers, all of the CBI applications, all the legal work? His law firm. So between them, they potentially can make anywhere between 90 and 120 million dollars.
Wow.
This is no joke.
Folks, stop and let that sink in. Let that sink in. So he and his wife, so he would have had the information to pass to his wife, allegedly. So now you have, it's like insider trading that is happening there. So he was able to pass information onto her. And allegedly that's how she knew of it. And now she's able to make it. So she's a sole realtor. And then it is now being alleged that his law firm is the firm that is handling all of the real estate dealings. Oh my goodness. This
is all nicely packaged for them to benefit on this. There are 144 lawyers between St. Kitts and Nevis. There are many, many real estate agents on St. Kitts and Nevis. Is it coincidence that it just happened to be her law her realty company? It just happened that his law firm is the one being used primarily. I mean, it is so outrageous. It's so outrageous that there's a gentleman by the name of Graham Brooks. He's one of the investors and he lives in England, in the UK. And when there are hard cases with Nevisian landowners who don't want to sell, he comes in and has his meetings in the conference room of the Premier's law firm.
So hold a minute, and you're telling me Nevisans are going to leave this man in power? Why isn't he removed like now? What are you doing about this? This is the heights of corruption. If this is what it is, sir, if these allegations are true, this is the heights of corruption. And what I'm hearing, Barbadians, I'm hearing that it's being alleged that key government officials, I'm saying, I got the names, Dr. Daly, but I'm being very careful what I'm saying here, that there are people in key government roles in Barbados who are connected to this law firm.
Interesting.
Oh, yes.
Very interesting.
Oh, yes. It is being alleged. Key, if you, everybody think people, think about those that travel all about. Lots of people travel all about, but you will know what I mean. Serious connections to people inside this gentleman's law firm.
Well, you remember a couple of years ago, not to cut you off, but remember a couple of years ago, he did give the feature address at Mia Motley's convention.
Could you say that again? I didn't hear you. Repeat
No,
that.
I said you will recall about 3 or 4 years ago, he did give the feature address at Mia Motley's convention.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you're just giving me that fun fact. I don't know anything about that. It's just a fun fact that that he gave a speech at one of the, would be like a BLP convention here.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right, no problem. I just a fun fact, not connected to anything, just a fun fact. Go ahead, sir.
What is very disturbing, very, very disturbing, is the fact that we are left with one alternative, that we know, legal alternative to end this, is through a constitutional appeal to the court, a judicial review, sorry, to the court. We have had the father of the AG, Charles Wilkin, who has penned a very damning letter regarding the constitutionality of this law and all the shortcomings of it. I would have thought, given that Charles Wilkin is a KC and has a very prestigious, perhaps the most prestigious law firm on St. Kitts and Nevis, and given his enormous financial capability, that he would have done yeoman service and gone after or seek redress in the court. But everybody's watching everybody. Nobody's willing to move. Everybody's looking at the Nevis Reformation Party to do all the heavy lifting. And it's really, really unfair, because this is bigger than NRP or the other party or any group on Nevis. This involves all of us on Nevis and St. Kitts. Because if Nevis was to come under domination by these settlers, who is next? It's naturally St. Kitts will be next. And we are hearing that there is a move now, an alleged move by the Prime Minister to have a similar zone set up on St. Kitts. What are these guys thinking?
Hold a minute. So tell me about this zone, because I want Barbadians to understand, guys, what is about to happen. here in Barbados. We already showed you. We don't need to show you that. We've done this all of this week into late last week. These zones that the Prime Minister is planning to set up, and she did say that that it will be tax-free to the people who are in those zones. All right. So folks, listen carefully to what is also set up in St. Kitts. Go ahead and educate us, Dr. Daly.
Yeah, what we're hearing, it has not been proven that the Prime Minister intends to set up a similar zone as in Nevis on St. Kitts. All right. Now, there are special economic zones which are totally different. In the sustainable zone, the special sustainable zone, they have their own governance. They have their own laws inside there. In the case of the economic zone, there is no change. There is no difference between what the government does and what they do. The government has full authority. All right. I mean, they're very similar, except for the areas of governance and who does what. In the special zone, special sustainable zone, the developers are the ones who have to put in all the infrastructure, water, power, communication links, schools, hospitals, churches, whatever. All right. They pay no taxes. They don't want any policing in their area. They don't want any government regulations in the area. They want to do the things they want to do. They want to have their own country within a country. That's basically what it is. I know the politicians on Nevis and saying don't like to hear that because it's a stretch too far. That is not a country within a country, not a state within a state. It's a semi-autonomous zone. What the hell is that?
What is that? You're not paying any taxes.
You are ceding the power of the state, the authority of the state, to an entity, a private commercial entity. How the hell does this work? Sorry about that. But how does this work?
Yes.
It is crazy. You are giving constitutional power to a private enterprise.
Barbados, wake up.
This is treasonous.
It is.
How do you do that? Why would you do that? They can't do it in America. They can't do it in Canada or the US or the UK. Why here? Why are we the ones to receive this? Why are we so blessed to receive this nonsense? We endured 400 years of slavery. We have now come into our own, with our own patrimony. And these guys are just giving it away as if it means nothing. That same area is ripe for development. It's basically unencumbered, it's open land, thousands of acres.
Yes, sir.
Our proposal was, listen, let us put in the infrastructure. As a government, we will invest in the infrastructure, the roads, water, power, communications. Allow the divisions, who are all divisions, by the way, Marcia, who own that land. I think it's probably the largest single stretch of land owned anywhere in the Caribbean by locals. It's a huge stretch. All right? Allow those landowners to derive an economic benefit from having that land developed. Give them that empowerment. Do not give it away to somebody else. All the landowners want in that area is access. The roads are terrible to non-existent. All right, but the landowners want to develop it, but they don't have any access. These are people who are paying taxes.
Yes,
they pay the taxes every year. Without fail, the taxes are now due to go up in January 1st. So they pay even more taxes on the land that they have no access to. And we're saying, empower these people. Allow them to create their own developments. If you want to have a special economic zone as part of that development, fine. If you want to have a free zone, fine. If you want a hotel, fine. We need housing. The village of Brown Hill is hemmed in right now. If that zone goes into effect, Brown Hill cannot expand to the west. It's hemmed in. You need to create housing. We have a housing shortage here on Nevis. It's a crisis. And you're telling me you're going to take all that land and give it away. And government is complaining they have no money to buy land. Well, if the government is willing, if the landowners are willing to sell to government $5-6 a square foot, that is good price. But people need to be provided with housing and access to their properties. They need to be provided opportunities that they can manage and develop. There's enough capacity in Singleton Nevis to develop that property, those lands, but we have no access. We had a proposal since 2017, the NRP that is, to build the infrastructure, to own the lands up, to create opportunities for locals. And the Premier said, well, these people are coming, so let them do it.
Oh my goodness.
Let them do it. The road is going to cost between $20 and $40 million. Let them do it.
You know, I'm Dr. Daly. My heart is just hurting listening to this, thinking about our journey together as Black people. We don't want to make it a black and white issue, but it is. It is when you're going to bring 10,000 people that don't look like us, right? To come to build, to actually set up. It sounds to me, based on what I read, not just what you are saying, because I did my homework and we've had other guests on the show. It does sound like a country within a country. And so you have it's almost like it's a hostile takeover of Nevis. And the Black people in Nevis will be outnumbered for the first time in history. And that is okay with the Premier. That is okay with the ruling government and the opposition leader that is supposed to be standing up on behalf of the people of Nevis. Sir, you have betrayed the people of Nevis.
You
have betrayed them.
He has. And all for what? They say they're gonna jobs. And they can't define one single job that's gonna be available beyond gardener or toilet cleaner.
Can you say the jobs again? But please forgive my animation. But I tell you, this is like, I'm telling you tonight, you're just speaking out the things. Say the kind of jobs again. Barbadians, listen to him, Barbadians. What are the jobs?
It's obvious. This on Nevis is not an economic zone. It's a residential zone. People are going to be living there. Not producing anything, just living there. All right? What kind of work do you expect them to give you? Clean the toilets, sweep their floors, cut their grass, cut their hedges. Clean the road. What kind of work is that to be giving people? We got to sacrifice 2,400 acres so that our people can go clean toilets and cut other people's yards? Give divisions the power over their properties. Give them the opportunity to develop their properties. This is not rocket science. The money stays here, the opportunities stay with our people. We should be empowering our people, not defeating them. And we are defeating them right now. And I go back to the same point I made earlier. What has been happening in the region, and that's why you see such a deep and steep fall off in political participation in elections. The people feel left out of the equation. The most critical aspect of governance is the people, are the people. And when you take away choice from people, when you leave people out of the equation of governance, then what do you expect? People say, well, me ain't gonna bother with it because nobody study me. I ain't gonna vote because nobody's hearing me. All right? So I'm wondering whether these guys are acting deliberately to dumb down the vote, because so many people, I look at Jamaica statistics, in some areas, 26% of people voted, are registered voters. In Nevis here, we are sliding back into 40s in some areas. We're not getting representative government when you have fewer people voting every year. And then we have this now influx of all these voters that are skewing any representative governance on Nevis. It's crazy now. It's craziness we're facing here. We have written to the Attorney General. We have written to the Elections Commission asking for reform of the electoral process. No response. Not even a good morning. Not even a good morning. Now, if you don't have a fair and free elections, then how do you expect to govern with a mandate? How do you expect to do that? And we've been facing this crisis for a long time. When Dr. Drew came into power in 2022, he came in on the promise of electoral reform. He came on the promise of constitutional reform. He came on the promise of good governance. What are we seeing? How is this SSZ legislation good governance? Who is it good for? Who is it good for? It can't be us. If Barbados was in a federation with, say, Grenada, and Mia Mottley was the president or the prime minister of that federation, Grenadians would expect that Mia Mottley would visit Grenada to have conferences and consultation with the people of Grenada. Dr. Drew has been elected prime minister since 2022, August 5th. He has never once set foot in Nevis to meet the people of Nevis. 2 miles away, we are between the Nevis and Sige. 2 miles. People swim across there once a year in a tournament. Swim. And he cannot take the Coast Guard.
Wow.
He cannot take the ferry. It's 5 minutes ferry ride from Sige to Nevis. 5 minutes. He refused to meet with the people of Nevis. Why? How are you going to have a prime minister of a federation? You're afraid of the people. You're afraid of their comments and their opinions. Is this democracy or dictatorship?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Wow.
ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. And it's
sir,
the kind of thing that it speaks so much about a betrayal of trust.
Betrayal. That's the word that comes to my mind. And we've gone over time. I see my next guest is here, but I want to ask you, sir, just your final comment. What are you doing? What I heard that he's now calling for a town hall after the law is passed. I don't know why. And I'm hearing though that jobs are being, even though they said it's not a done deal, they're asking people to apply for jobs. So jobs are being advertised on the radio in Nevis. So what are people to do? Nevisians that are listening to you, and even us in the Caribbean, what can we do to help you? And can you tell us what Nevisians are doing?
Well, we have, I think, a large section of the community of Nevis are now awake to what the possibilities are. There are, of course, those who don't see beyond the politics, and therefore would side with the premier about this zone development. Some people are so desperate for a job, they will take anything right now. They'll go to bed with the devil, for Christ's sakes. All right, so they hear jobs coming and everybody get excited. But what comes along with that is that's the backside of the matter. So you jump from the frying pan into the fire, as I say. Now, we have a town hall on the 27th, which is Monday coming.
Yes.
And I'm hoping for a full turnout of Nevis to show and demonstrate to the Premier of Nevis, Nevisians don't want to be like Dubai. We don't want this on our doorstep.
Wait, hold a minute. Did you just say that? Did you just hear him what he said? Nevisians do not want to be like Dubai.
Yeah.
But
they keep saying that the Premier said it, the Prime Minister said it, the developers are saying it. We are going to create the Dubai of the Caribbean right here on Nevis. Well, who told them we want to be Dubai? Who gave that an impression that we want to be overcrowded and jammed in? We don't want to be Dubai. Dubai is Dubai. We want to be Nevis. We want to remain the way we are. We of course encourage development. We are not anti-development, but at a pace that we can control, at a rate we can control, with systems that we can control. One more thing, Marcia. Do you know that the Premier and the Prime Minister of this federation are the ones who have the authority to approve this development agreements for the SSC? They have exclusive control over the approval process. The physical planning department, which applies building codes, which applies EIAs, all development protocols, they have been sidelined. There are no requirements for the developers to submit any plan to the physical planning department. If I want to put a septic tank in my yard, I have to go to physical planning to get permission to make sure it's built to specifications. If I want to put a drop shed over my garage, I have to get physical planning permission and their blessings to make sure if a hurricane comes, it don't blow away. But why is it then you have $1 billion investment with no safety guardrails at all? So the Premier just have to sign it and says, it is done. Do what you want, build how you want. It's crazy. It's absolutely ridiculous. One standard for them and another standard for us in a democracy. This can't be right. The physical planning provides the guardrails to make sure that every development Nevis goes to not only division standards, because we are signatories to regional and international protocols, that they are built according to specifications. It takes some time to approve them because it's elaborate. They have to make many visits, but all of us go through that as civilians and developers. They have to face the professionals, the people who know at physical planning. These are guys with engineering degrees coming out their ears. They know the work. Why are we taking them out of the equation, Marcia? Why are we giving that power to the Prime Minister and the Premier of Nevis? That in itself is treasonous.
You know, sir, you see me shaking my head, and I know we are past the time. I see my other guests there, and I think I'm just gonna bring him in, and you know, to join this this conversation, because we saw and we're seeing that is happening in Barbados, where our planning and development actually is now being run by our Prime Minister. She's a minister over it. And not just that, but there are projects that we know that normally those projects would not be passed. You know, the planning and development, because as you said, you have all the engineers and all of those people involved in there, and they are allowing them to get by. All of this foreign development, normally these things would never, they will never give them permission to build in particular zones and areas in Barbados, but they are allowing them to do it in this free zone that they're creating. And so I don't want to seem like I keep breaking you, but it is so unreal to me listening to you, sir, because it's what we live. And I want Barbadians to understand, and that the Prime Minister, is it the Prime Minister, was a keynote speaker at one of the Barbados Labour Party conference. Is it the opposition leader or is it the Prime Minister?
The Premier went down to Barbados and gave the speech.
The Premier went to Barbados.
Yes.
This guy, this gentleman.
Yes, that's the same guy there.
Who is seeming it appears that he is spearheading this operation
He
in
is,
Nevis.
he
He's
is
the
the
one
chief,
spearheading.
he is the
So you're telling me,
PRO. He
you're
is the
telling me
PRO for the
that he
development, Marcia.
and that he is that close to the prime minister in Barbados that he would come here to give a keynote address at the Barbados Labour Party conference, which actually they're having one this weekend. What is that saying to us? And it will be very interesting for Barbadians to know that particular person that is so connected to this man's law firm here in Barbados. So there is a connection,
You see,
Dr. Daly.
Marcia, what I want to have the people of the Caribbean understand, that Nevis might be a test case. And if they succeed in Nevis, who is next? Which government in the region who are cash-strapped, broke, GDP sucks, staggering, I mean, slowing down, and national debt going through the roof, are they strong enough to withstand this? I question myself. How is it that we are not hearing, except for this broadcast on Barbados, we have not been getting any traction next door in Antigua, Montserrat, St. Martin and Anguilla, Statia, St. Lucia, St. Vincent. We're not. It's like we are caught in a time warp here. And I'm sure by now, CARICOM heads must have wind of this. Are they talking to the Prime Minister, Dr. Drew, quietly and say, boy, pull back on this nonsense? You're going too far with this nonsense. I thought CARICOM was the place that people spoke, among themselves. I still a sidebar and say, boy, Prime Minister Drew, I think you're making a mistake with this. You should not be ceding your authority to any entity, and especially a financial or a business entity. How do you do that? It's unheard of. It's unheard of. And they're trying this new experiment to see how far they can go, to push the envelope as far as they can go, to make sure that they can govern themselves, And so what we do, the Premier has been backtracking because a key component of their salesmanship of this, the Attorney General, Garth Wilkin was on it, the Premier, the Prime Minister, the former Prime Minister, all of them were talking about the beauty of this is the sustainability factor, that they will provide their own power, their own water, their own infrastructure, yada, 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 the whole 9 yards. We are now hearing from the Premier himself, Mas, that they no longer will be required to provide their own energy because they will be twinning or investing in geothermal needs. They no longer will be interested in building their own port because they're going to invest in the port at Long Point. They're no longer going to be looking at hospital in your zone because they will be investing in the hospital in Nevis. So where are we going? Wow. Slaves back again, answering to people that once dominated our forefathers 400 years ago? Are we this incompetent? This blind that we can't see the play? The same play that Christopher Columbus played on the Indians back in 1493? Give them beads and mirrors in exchange for gold and diamonds? And now, is that where we're going back to? It is ridiculous. If you don't understand your history, you're bound to repeat it. You are bound to repeat it. We should be elevating ourselves, not going backwards. These guys are pushing us back under slavery, under the yoke of somebody else's leadership. That's what is happening. We are ceding our sovereignty, our rights to this little piece of rock, to people who came 400 years ago, now coming back again. It is ridiculous. And these leaders, whether on Senkis or Nevis, whether the prime minister or the premier or whether you're a cabinet minister, all of them should be ashamed. Every single last one should be ashamed to call themselves Nevisans, to call themselves Kittians, to call themselves citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis. Because a real leader does not behave in the manner these guys are behaving. The people have told the government, repeal this legislation. Repeal it. It is bad for us. Why are they doubling down and finding all sorts of excuses to continue this nonsense? It begs the question, who has been paid? And how much? Why would the premier be the chief spokesman for private development? He should be interested in protecting the people of Nevis. Instead, he's advancing the rights to the rights to these people. He should be interested in making sure Nevisans are protected, that they're empowered. What is he doing? And why is he acting the way he's doing? For years, he kept it secret from us, denying it. Oh, no, you guys are just making noise about nothing. Where's the noise now? The noise turned to be true. They have been quietly selling this country out rather than protecting the people of Nevis. Acre by acre, dollar by dollar, they've been taking advantage of the people of Nevis. You see, Nevis people are very gentle-minded people. They could never imagine for a moment that the man who has been at the helm of this government since 2017, a man who has been in government as a parliamentarian since 2007, would betray them like this. Some are still in denial, but it's becoming increasingly clear that this gentleman is all about himself. Because if you are a Nevisan and you say you love Nevis and Nevis nice, where's the evidence of your actions to prove that? Where is it? You have given it away. He himself has been calling Nevisans to tell them, man, sell the land. Why are you holding on for it for? Sell it. Imagine that. The premier of this country calling Nevisans to tell them, sell their patrimony. These people want all of it. They are friends of mine who have land in the proposed zone. They have offered jealously to sell some. No. No deal. They want all of it. They don't want us black people among them. They don't want any islands among that development. They want all of it. They want a contiguous border that they can defend, they can build out, and do whatever they feel like. So they don't want me or anybody look like me in their midst. And so this idea that Nevisans have that they can sell peace and hold back some for their children, no deal. They want it all. And the premier of this country is out front, not defending people, but telling people, sell your land. The land ain't got no value. Once you got money in your hand, the money has value. The premier is telling people that. My God. My God. What manner of man is this? What manner of man is this? Persons have used their lands from time immemorial to go to the bank, to leverage loans for their children's education, to buy vehicles for their businesses. Now, if you sell that land, what do they have left? Cash in their hand? To do what with? To do what with? One guy told me, listen, for 25 years, I've been using the same acre and a half of land to educate my children and build businesses. 1 acre and a half. How does he operate now if he sold that? Where would he get the leverage from? This is the criminality of this premier, that he knows the value of this land to people's lives. And rather than telling people, listen, do not do this unless you feel comfortable. Do not do this if you can't afford to do it. He's telling them sell the land. And so his wife is the agent who sells the land.
Oh,
and these guys go to church on Sunday, get down on their knees and pray. They can't be praying. They can't be praying. They're wishing. They can't be praying.
Yeah. You know, Dr. Daly, I know you've gone, oh my goodness, 20 minutes over, but I think it's very important because as you said, there, apart from you shouting in Nevis and trying to get people to hear you, nobody else out the Caribbean except this show has given Nevisans a voice. Isn't that true?
That's true.
Nowhere else. And I felt every time I wanted to stop you, I felt, no, allow him to express himself. And sir, I want you to know that you have a space here. And I listen to me. If I can get on a if schedule and resources allow, and I can get on a flight to this town hall meeting, I will come there with my camera, sir, and record it and send it out. I'm serious about that. I think it is so important that we bear each other's burden, because there's so many things that he said tonight, Zico, that is so much what we're dealing with. He mentioned Dubai. He mentioned the corruption of their town and their planning and development department. They have to call it a different name. He talked about these zones. I mean, there's so many things I can't even, so many things. Before he goes, Zico, what do you want to say to Dr. Daly before he goes?
I just thank him for sharing and so passionately, because we need to understand that this is a global problem, and it's playing especially for our Caribbean countries, our neighboring Caribbean countries. And I think we need more voices like this to speak out, more voices to come out and really speak truth to power. So I want to commend you for coming up on this show and really letting Barbados know that this is not just an isolated incident within Barbados, but it is an agenda which is being carried out throughout the Caribbean. And we must come together and speak against it and really come and let our voices be heard.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
But before you go, I want to ask everybody to just share. Take this, and you can cut out any bit of it. We give, please just share it. Share it everywhere. You can put it on whatever you want to do with it. Cut it up. Do whatever you want to do with. Just help us to get this word out about what is happening in Nevis, guys. We heard and we are responsible. What's your final word, Dr. Daly?
Well, you mentioned something very interesting earlier at the top of the show, when you said we in the Caribbean, especially down Island, we have this great view and admiration for Mia Mottley. And that perhaps is true, because we don't see on the ground what's happening there. We see the outward projections of what she does when she goes to the United Nations or wherever else. So we don't know the issues on the ground in Barbados. But I would encourage Mia Mottley, the Prime Minister of Barbados, to take a good look at this. I would encourage her, any leadership in Barbados, take a good look, and advise or speak to their colleagues on Nevis and St. Kitts. To say, listen, we are hearing these things, and they're making us very uncomfortable as a people. Then they need to take the lead on this, whatever leadership there is in Barbados or St. Vincent or St. Lucia or wherever else. Because, you see, this, again, is a test case for all of them. What will you do when it comes to you? Will you accept it or you reject it? And so I encourage all Barbadians to take a good look, to understand the trajectory of which our countries and our region are moving. And it is leaving us out. The people are being left out of the matrix. And that is it. We need to recover that power.
Sir, I am just, we're just honored to have had you tonight and that we could be that channel for you to just speak. And you were so eloquent. And I'm going to keep in touch with you, sir, and say to you, whatever way you think we can help, we have to help because we realize it's the same thing that's happening here. It's just going a little slower.
Yeah.
And so we want to be there for you. I want to also thank the viewer who made the connection. There's somebody who watches this show and made the connection between the show and yourself. And this has been a real eye opener. It's been educational, motivational. It's all that we stand for. And I'm hoping it will mobilize Nevisans and mobilize Barbadians and everybody else who's watching from Trinidad, wherever else. You'll be mobilized to keep an eye on your government and to hold them accountable. Sir, thank you so very, very much
Thank
for
you very
joining
much
us.
for having me, Marcia. We'll see you again.
Yes, sir. God bless.
All right.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Zico, I don't even know what to say after that.
I mean, it's intense. It's intense. And it's looking and see that there's no longer a coincidence. For people to still be looking and thinking that it's just a coincidence, there's nothing going on, be this. I mean, like, seriously, look around, open your newspaper, talk to people, start keeping yourself in an echo chamber, like, actually do some research, and you will see that there is an agenda. I mean, before, probably, when the colonizers came, it was for our labor, and now it's coming for our lands. And we really got to really speak up against it.
Wow. This is really, I am still there because I think about Barbados and I think about what would have happened to and how far they would have gone had it not been for the people of Barbados. Do you understand that the
Yep.
people, because the people were standing up before Mr. Thorne came on the scene, and we should be grateful, guys, that we have a lawyer inside the inside the lower house in the parliament, and although the bills, I mean, we've been able to stop a lot of these bills, but can't we see everything is in train already for this to be happening in this country? We're not going to recognize Barbados when they're finished. In fact, the Prime Minister says that when they're finished with Bridgetown, we will not be able to recognize it. And she said, I saw it in the newspaper, she said, come and take a picture. She says, take a picture of Bridgetown. And I want to ask Barbadians tonight, Zico, if they're happy with that. They're happy with that she is deciding to make Barbados in her image and her likeness because she has made herself God.
And that's it. And that exactly is what it is. Nobody's against development. Nobody's against, but it cannot be dependency. And that's what we're saying, dependency. And we're changing Barbados, and we're changing Barbados not for the betterment of the people, but for the betterment of to fulfill certain people first. And I don't think that's the way we should be going. And if, as I say again, I cannot believe that Bajans are still blind. I mean, seriously, is either you have to force yourself not to pay attention. It's no longer a coincidence. Before, probably you could say, you know what, that's just probably a coincidence. But you could look around. You could look around and realize that no, this does not make any sense. And it hurts. I mean, it really and truly hurts. And then to even continue to hear, our other developing neighbors say the same thing is going on in their country as well. So you know for sure that there's a bigger global agenda at play. So we can't continue to ignore it anymore. We can't continue to turn a blind eye and say, you know what, yeah, she speak good. She she's go there. She go be country penny map. Come on. We really got to do it. And if we don't speak now, Barbados will change and it will be too late. It will be too late. Your voices, it ain't gonna make sense then. But you can wait. Got your man, let's wait and see what happening. Wait and see what. But you can wait on. The actions must be taken now. You can't wait for certain things then to be implemented. You can't wait for our lands and our history just to be wiped off the map and then redevelop into something else that we have no say in. Come on, man. Come on. I just say it again, not just to pay bills, man. Not just to pay bills.
When you say not just to pay bills, what are you hinting at there? You sound like something I hear my husband talks about all the time. Can you? We want to hear more of that. Go ahead,
Sure.
Zico.
Sure. All right. When Mia came in, when Mia had one and she came in, she said there was no money in the treasury and what's not, and she was looking for investment and development within Barbados. And I was okay for that. I thought that, yeah, definitely I think Barbados can use with some more investors and what's not. But then it came at a cost. When it came at a cost that we start losing our heritage sites and we start using what made Barbados Barbados. And it was just it became kind of vision. We just focused on the dollar. It was just focused on the cent and not the people. And then what happened was it was no longer empowerment. It was no longer, because as I said before, development is about the empowerment of the people. And especially when you're running a country, it has to be about the empowerment of the people, not the dependency. So when we're looking at it now, we realize that, years have passed and it wasn't that the people themselves was being empowered. It was those who have was getting richer, and those who did not have was feeling it. Then we start seeing concessions given to those who had. And then we start seeing people was being punished for the ones who did not. And then we realize that, cool, it's not even even playing field. So what is this going on? And then I realized that certain things was then being implemented just for the sense of the dollar, just for the sense of paying bills, just for paying back debts, going taking out loans, and is not at the benefit of the everyday being, just not at the benefit of the everyday citizen. So then what is it for? Really and truly, what is it for? Why put your country in debt? When we still got people still dealing with the same issues. People can't get proper water. You can't get in hospital and get proper beds. You can't get proper service. I mean, like, seriously. So what are we putting ourselves in debt for? That our children will have to pay for the rest of their lives. Come on, we overtaxed right now. We're even continue to do overtax right now. How are we empowering our people? We're not doing it. And that is when it becomes very, very sad. And that's when it comes to a part where you're going to look at it and say, you know what the direction that we're taking, it can't just be for bills, because it's not empowering the people. It's empowering the people who does not live here, who's going to take the same money, take it, then leave, regardless in the next 5 or 10 years, when we start looking around and say, what is it that we do own? And Barbados start to sink. And people decide, you know what, we got money, let me just hit shit, and go on what we business. What is this going to happen? I mean, like, seriously, what is going to happen? When you look at the everyday entrepreneur, what has happened within the last 8 years that they could say that the everyday entrepreneur had some level of benefit? That the government, they say, you know what? This is how we can help y'all. This is what we can do. We can lessen the tax on this. We can give y'all some concessions depending upon this. So, nothing at all. Not one. We heard about additional taxes. We heard about penalties. We heard about, all right, this is what we can do. And it was not for the benefit of the poor man. And you cannot run a country like that. As I said, if you're having a business, sure. If you want to have a business, it's about making sure that when investors come, that you can make money for yourself and for the business itself. But when you're running a country, it have to be for the betterment of the people. And it's not right now for the betterment of the people. And that's what hurted me the most. And then you continue to put the country in ridiculous debt. I mean, ridiculous debt. And I cannot see where it's going. I cannot see where it's going. And it's not going towards the people. And then people have to say, well, enough is enough. It can no longer be pretty taught. It can be, you know what, look at me, boy. That was a wonderful speech. Sure, it was a wonderful speech. Kudos to you. Now, what have changed for us? What about we bread and butter? And we ain't saying that at all. She's going out there being a globalist, petitioning for problems globally. And you got you people at home crying with their hands out. Like, what message are you sending? And then not only that, and then you ignoring it, and then you say, you know what? Cool, no problem. People come to Barbados, we have jobs and what's not for y'all. And when we look around, we realizing people on contracts, people working 2 or 3 days. Sometimes people working 1 week and then not the next week. You know, people asking for help, people asking for assistance, and they cannot get it. And then you telling them, you could see ministers telling people, you know what, we'll go elsewhere. If you can't find a job here, go elsewhere. For what? To work for $2.50 US? So what's the benefit for you? What's the benefit for your people? And they don't say, well, oh, it's not a pie. It can share. It's not. It's come on, be realistic, man. And that and my biggest disposition, especially with the administration right now, is that they do not relate to the everyday man. They do not relate to the everyday man. They're so far disconnected. Investment is good, but it's not turning into dependency upon foreign investors who eventually, when they get the money, they can take what they have and go elsewhere. And then what's left for us? What we have to negotiate with? What power will we have? What will we own? You're looking at Dubai. Dubai was a desert. You can't compare Dubai to Barbados, which was rich in its history. You can't compare the two. You cannot compare the two. Barbados is special because of what? Its people, its beaches, the environment that we have. But when you start to sell certain things, destroy the beaches, and then you want to talk about global warming, you want to talk about all these different things, you're destroying Barbados like this as well. So it can't be so I'd rather people be straight and say this is what we want to do. Right now we're looking to change the face of Barbados and try to make it more modernized. Be real and be straight with people. And right now we're looking to get as much foreign investors into Barbados because I'll be straight, be real with it. But when you insulting the everyday man and telling them about this and that, and then every single day we can see, probably next week we can hear about some other, I don't know what other tax or what other thing they're gonna roll out, which can take the average entrepreneurship. I mean the average entrepreneur to I have no idea when that's gonna roll out. But I have seen nothing so far to help the everyday man. And that's my problem. And that's the problem that I have with the rich, sure. The haves have it. The have-nots, bustle up. And that's what's hurting me more.
Yeah. Well, boy, I just again just letting it rip. Just bearing it out. And I think this becomes a place, Barbados, this becomes a place where we come, whether you type it out, you can call in, you can just be able to just let it all out. And that's what is happening here tonight. If we become that space, and if we are to even just look at the situation that we've just encountered here in Barbados with Uber, and I know a lot of Barbadians, Zico, they are thinking that, well, I'm going to be able to get a break here with Uber. I'm going to be able to get cheaper prices. All right. But what they're not thinking about, what is going to happen to the taxi operators. We're not trying to find a way to say, how can we work with the taxi operators, okay, so that their costs can be lowered and therefore they are able to charge, a reasonable rate that everybody can afford, or to make sure that we put regulations in place to hold the taxi drivers accountable to the rate that is set, because there is a rate that is set both by the taxi drivers and the government. The government didn't look at that. The government didn't look at that. What the government did instead, without discussing it with the taxi operators, to say, how can you coexist with this? Is this gonna work? No. They went ahead, and we only heard, I think I heard on Sunday. I think you can remind me if it is Sunday, Zico, that we heard about Uber. And the taxi men are saying that's about the time they heard. And then it was being discussed all over on Monday, and they said it's by Wednesday. I'm like, Wednesday? How could it happen by Wednesday? And then by Wednesday, we're hearing now that there are 400 taxi operators that are signed up to Uber. When did that happen? So all of this was being planned, and the people were in the dark about it, and they knew they could not go to the taxi operators because it would have been an uproar, as it has been in Germany and in other countries, in Canada, even in Trinidad. They started and they had to leave, and then they came back on the terms of the Trinidadians. Then they came back to Trinidad. Same thing with Jamaica. So I am saying, I'm hearing you, and I'm thinking about that, this particular thing that has happened with the taxi operators. And saddened to see how Barbadians who believe that they're going to be able to save a few dollars cannot look at the principle of it, cannot look at the fact that basically what is happening is that our small business owners are being trampled. Entrepreneurship for small business entities, it's like it's nothing. They are destroying it.
Yep.
in this country.
And it goes back to what I'm saying, so desensitized from the everyday man, they do not care. So when you have the conversation, he's rolling, y'all follow. And that's the mindset, and that's what hurt me. When it first was rolled out, I can be honest, I was conflicted. Anybody know this? And I was like, you know what? Let the market decide. Uber doing the thing, taxi man doing the thing. Was the cheaper option, eventually would win. That was my mindset in the beginning. You understand? I can be very honest. I can say, well, yeah, that was my mindset. And I was like, yeah, because sometimes I think that the prices of the taxis can be very, ridiculous. And then I also started to pay a little bit more attention. I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, the prices was really and truly was structured by the government.
And the taxi operator.
And the taxi, exactly. So I can't fault them themselves and say, well, although I know some people really truly it's just ridiculous. But then I had to then say, well, and then I started to look at it a little more, and it was then, but this is a monopoly. When you started to bring Uber in, you basically took hundreds of entrepreneurs off the market to work for somebody, but you monopolizing it. And then it was saying, well, that's where the problem comes in. Because then, no, who's in charge is going to get the majority of the money, And then I started to be like, you know what, I got to look at this a little different. Rather than just looking at like, oh, well, whoever got the best prices, the market shall win, and that's what it's going to be, and so forth, and what's not. But then this is people's livelihood. People been doing this here for years.
Yeah.
How can you not have a conversation with people and say, well, yeah, we're looking to implement, Uber into Barbados. We don't know how we can cooperate. Both y'all can coexist and we make this work. The conversation was not how you rolled out, just how you rolled out so many things before talking to the people or consulting people, and then thinking that it's just going to be okay. And I've seen she target every single sector where it's linked to tourism. Whether from the Airbnbs to the rental cars, no, to the taxis. I mean, every single sector which is basically linked to tourism, she probably basically had a hand in. And I was like, this is not right, and it will cause fear for certain people who will say, well, yeah, I own 4, 5, 6 taxis. What is supposed to do now? What are you doing to me? I got to answer to somebody else. I can't get to understand. And that's where you got the problem, the monopolizing of the industry.
Yeah. That's the thing, Zico, that I'm glad you said that you came to that understanding, and that is what we need, how we need Barbadians to be. I mean, it's the same thing when we had the Airbnb operators, the small rental, short-term rental operators. There were people who didn't care about that because it didn't have anything to do with them. There are people who don't care about what's happening in Nevis because that have nothing to do with me, and as you listen, you realize, hold a minute, there's a level of injustice that's happening here. And if we don't stop and call it out,
yep,
we are held accountable for that, when we see wrong and we don't call out the wrong. And it will just be a matter of time that it's that we, the shoes we're gonna wear those shoes.
Yeah.
With the way the world is going.
And at first, I was kind of like, that's their fault. I whatever happened to them, we really talked about Wisconsin. And I was like, that's when a battle, when they got to fight it. Because I didn't see y'all speaking out when it came to, the Airbnbs and the higher cars and what's not. But the reason why I'm glad that it's happening, because I want to bring the awareness. I want people to understand, what, this is a unity thing. And eventually it's going to impact or affect each and every single one of us. We can no longer turn the blind and say, well, yeah, man, that's the problem, he got to deal with her. That's the problem, she got to deal with her. That's not my sector, that's not my industry. Really and truly, it's touching each and every single one of us, slowly but surely.
Yeah,
slowly but surely.
And as you said that, I want to single out Dunksman.
Mm-hmm.
Dave has to keep telling me his name is Dunksman and not Rangate Man. Hi, good night, Mark. Good night and welcome to the Marcia Week Show. I know. I'm going to touch on your issue from St. Lucie. Just give me a moment. Welcome, sir. Pardon my manners tonight, but Dunksman, or as I call him, Rangate Man. He said, I mean, and I love the fact that he's standing on principle, and so he was calling out the people, the taxi operators, and saying to them, taxi operators, don't sign up with Uber. And and even though 400 of them signed up, although 400 of them signed up, he was still saying, even today he's out and he's very aware of what he's doing. Dunksman, aka Rangate Man, he has a big following. And what I noticed with him is that he didn't just talk about the taxi operators. Watch him carefully. He's talking about the water in St. Lucie as well. And I wanted to feature him tonight. And we don't normally say the same thing, but it doesn't, you know how I am, Zico. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. For me, Dunksman and I, we're going to find what we have in common. The first time he and I had a conversation had to do with when the young man got killed in Shonatan Chase, got killed. And he called and said, how can I help? I want to help to promote what you're doing. So when I saw him pushing the whole thing about the taxis, I am going to get on board and I'm going to help. I'm going to help to promote that, and to give people that awareness, Mark and Zico, about what is happening. But what I love about, I like to call him, I like the Rangate Man. What I love about Mr. Rangate is that he is taking up other issues as well. Issues that he thinks that are unjust. Now, some people say, oh, but he's a lover of me. I could not care less. That's not the point. We are all Barbadians, people. We're all Barbadians. And he is speaking about St. Lucie. Oh, come on over here, Dunksman. I'm going to promote what you're doing. You are talking about the taxi operators. You yourself are a taxi operator. I'm going to join in with you.
Yep. And that's it. Anybody can have a preference. We're not speaking. Yeah, sure. You can like me. You can like whoever it is. Like the certain qualities are like where me is concerned. But when it comes to speaking for your people and speaking towards issues, you have to speak against it. And I like it. Speak out. Not just because you have an affiliation or you've been caught endorsing her for whatever the reason. You can't speak against the issue. If somebody's wrong, it's wrong. I like that approach. You find common ground. If there's an issue and you're a Barbadian first or you represent Barbados, sure, speak up against the issue, regardless of whatever party you align with.
Yes. And his right name is Ryan Best, and I hope he's not. I love anybody knows me. I love a good laugh. I'm a creative person. I'm a theater person, so I'm not trying to be disrespectful. That is just me, okay? And he says Rangate all the time, and I'm told it's not a bad word. I'm cursing. It's a bad word?
No, it's not.
I was told it's not a bad word. So, and I just love what he does. And so I just tease him and call him Mr. Rangate. But I know his name is Mr. Ryan Best. And he goes by Dunksman. So if you're looking for him on Facebook, go and you will see Dunksman. And I thank him for joining. He and Stephanie Chase, they both contacted me and they helped to promote when we had the Shonatan Chase. And I like that we can find common ground. We don't necessarily agree on everything. But there's a video here and he kills me in this. He has me cracking up in this. Dave, let's hear Ryan Best. Run, man. Go right ahead.
Hi, beautiful people. Your friendly Dunksman here. Very loud. Hey, friend. No tourists in the corner. And I don't get to say my Dennis Jimenez to regular. But once I come over the port and I got a cruise ship down there, I can say Dennis Jimenez. I spoke there recently on phone, but we decided not to speak in public. What are your thoughts? Everybody doesn't know how it's done when they come to Uber.
I tell you already, all that was said about Uber is already spoken.
Explain.
The horse already bought the stable. Whoever run this government, Uber tried to get in this country some years back.
Yeah, I heard
that.
Rejected.
And now, I don't know who passed the hand, how much money was passed.
I was greedy.
I don't know. I tell you the other day that the leader of this country met statements about Tink and how she want money.
Yes,
she said she want money. Yeah. I don't know how much money was passed, but I know it can't be a little bit.
It can't be a small person. It can't be a little bit.
I know that cost you less. A lot of ministers have shares that cost you less. I demonstrate the stock cost you less. And all the stuff cost you less. No, come. The starter chicken at about $2, and also went from $2 to $30.
Right.
So you don't know if this Uber coming here, but a lot of foreign people. I say a woman on the internet, she can hardly speak English, and you can see the smirk on her face. We got them.
We got them. We got them, everyone. We got them.
There is no way that you should be bringing a foreign country in here with people that are already established. But you know what happened? They got something called.
We're not talking about Uber already in existence.
I just tell you,
we already told you that. We know that. We already established that.
Already gone through that.
Yeah, we know that.
Somebody hand get. Listen.
Somebody had get grease. They call it grease. I don't know it's called it, but
I
it's
don't know
called
if that's a grease. I feel like that's a goal. That's a goal rush. That you can't insult it, but you're saying a grease now. You want to say called a goal rush.
A goal rush.
And all now he hasn't said run gate yet. I haven't heard him say run gate in this whole thing yet. Mark, welcome. Listen, we have a march, guys. The march is coming up on Saturday. And we've got the big truck Mark and Zico. Inviting Zico again. I know Zico does his stuff on a Saturday, even if you come and give us an hour. You're coming, Zico?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yes. We're going to come out and we're going to represent the taxi men. And taxi men, I wanted to say to you, when the truck is passing, I want all the taxi men to be blowing their horns. Every taxi, if you're a taxi man, a taxi operator, and we listen, you know that we can get Uber out of here. How many of you know that we can get Uber out here? Already, we are hearing that the port, those men at the port that he went to look for, that Dunksman went to look for, you know that they have gotten Uber out of the port. Uber, they cannot operate at the port. So how about we go all the way and get Uber out of Barbados? Do you see what I'm saying, Mark?
Yep.
Let's go all the way
Yes.
and get Uber. Mark, you think I know you come here to talk about St. Lucie, but we taking up all of everybody's business going big, John. Right? So tell me, you think we could go all the way and get them out of Barbados?
Yes, I think it would be a fantastic idea to go all the way. You see, like you said, today it's for me, tomorrow is somebody else. You understand? And if we just continue to let people come and overrun us, we can always be in the downfall. You have to stand up for what you believe in. You have to get up. You have to fight. You know, not physically, but you have to get up and do what you have to do to take care of your own. And as the taxi men helping to look out for St. Lucie, when their time come, I will ask the people for St. Lucie to come and march with them as well. Because, you know, one hand can't clap. And so,
Correct.
so of course, I could not understand when I hear Uber coming. I was like, you. And then I hear Uber here. So, hey.
You know, you're right, Dave. If you could just check your WhatsApp just about right now, because Starcom carried the article that says, you know, that or the report that says that Uber suspends plans to operate at Bridgetown Port following high-level meeting. I am telling you, we can chase them crazy ball heads out of the town. I am telling you, that's an easy one, taxi operators. Come on, a lot of you are men. I heard that there are 2,500 or so taxi operators in Barbados. 90-something% of you are men. You are fathers. You are African men. Come on, let's chase them out of here. They have to leave Trinidad. They have to wheel and come again in Trinidad. Do you hear me? Uber suspends plan to operate at Bridgetown following high-level meeting. Let me tell you something. Come on, Dunksman. Run gate. Get them run gate out of here. That's how you use it.
Yeah, you're correct.
That's correct. Get them
Correct.
run gate. Do you use it as a noun or a verb?
It doesn't matter.
It can be used as both.
Yeah. So say it. You say it.
All right, let me say it. I'll be on one of my wrong gate port.
it's an adjective. So Mark, use Rangate. You use Rangate as a noun.
People stupid.
Huh?
They think the Rangate people stupid.
The Rangate people stupid. Okay.
We don't want that Rangate people but here.
The Rangate people. Listen, somebody use it as a verb. Who gonna use it as a verb? Get that with Uber, but you have to use the sentence. Listen, folks. Listen. I am telling you, I feel it. I feel an exit for Uber. Anybody feeling it? Who gonna use? I want you to use a Rangate in a. Go ahead, Mark. You're gonna use it as a verb. You can't use that as a verb. It's not a verb.
You can't think of it right now.
I can't think of that.
You can't think of anything yet. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell me about these Rangate people right there now. The Rangate.
I can't understand this Rangate people coming here to take me the Rangate people money all the time. So bringing people trying to get people out to Rangate work, and they so Rangate tired. I don't understand.
Oh my Lord of mercy! I think it's more. It seems more like an adjective or adverb or something like that.
I'm thinking of verbs right now.
Yeah. No. I listen, folks. We're laughing, but no, they need to Rangate over here.
I agree. I definitely agree.
As an adverb, yes. It's an adverb adjective that is happening there.
Yes.
Yeah, carry your Rangate self out of here.
Think bitches Rangate stupid.
What is sorry, this can tell I like a little foolishness. Before I talk about the water, what is the synonym? What is the synonym for Rangate? That will help me to understand better.
It would be, well, people say the R hole, which would have been the nasty word. But this one here is a much more decent word. So yeah.
Okay. So right. Okay. So that is a synonym. Okay.
Yes.
So it's right.
But
okay.
We're more innocent. Yes.
What Uber Rangate doing to the taxi man. And exactly. Then somebody saying they're doing peer Rangate. So Rangate here is a noun.
Yeah.
You can say somebody's a Rangate too?
Yeah.
So what is a Rangate then?
A Rangate?
What kind of, so I could say that the Rangate water in St. Lucie then.
Yeah, the Rangate water in St. Lucie, brong. They want to take the Rangate water. Let me Rangate stupid. Let me kind of look at that water and say, I wrong with that Rangate water. I can't tell about it's safe to drink. So you don't know Rangate drink it then?
That Rangate drink it then. You see what I mean? I don't understand that. But what does it actually mean? Just before I go on to the Rangate,
you gotta talk to a historian for that one.
Historian. Okay, somebody says here. Oh, AI overview. Rangate is a Bajan slang used as an expression of astonishment, shock, or disbelief, similar to saying "no way" or "you're kidding." Exactly. You're kidding me. Okay, that's AI. No, I'm not saying that one. Look what they have on there. I'm not saying that. I said that, and the people and the church people nearly read me out. I go and said that. I said that word on the screen, and I didn't know that that was a bad word. And I tell you, I clear out the whole Christian chat. So I'm not that one. I'm not. Don't come with that one. Wanna want Rangate crazy tonight? What we going to talk about the Rangate brown water in St. Lucie tonight? Tell me about the Rangate water. Mark.
Well,
they want you to Rangate drink it. Did I do that right?
You're correct. You got it down pat. That's it.
But that Rangate happening. Yeah, good night, everybody. Once again, it is Good to be on the show. You know,
Yes.
I wish that when I come on the show, I could tell you that we all had clean water, but that is not the case.
Mm.
So I am here tonight mainly. I am here tonight mainly to ask
Mm.
Barbados and especially people from the north that are having dirty water to come out on Saturday. You see, my 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 problem here is that we having people that don't get this dirty water that is fighting for us. And I find that a lot of people that is getting the dirty water ain't saying nothing.
Mm.
They're not getting up, they're not standing up, you know, and I don't know. Some might be saying that they might lose a job or what. Man, I'm just saying this. Come Saturday, I would like to see about 10,000 people at this march and about 8,000 from the northern parishes that is probably suffering with water. You know, I welcome and I am happy to know that you guys and some other people that are getting clean water are willing to come out, right? I also know this for a fact. There are some places in St. Lucie that the water is not dirty. And when you talk to some of them people, they say, but I ain't got no dirty water. But that is not the attitude. We can't adopt that attitude. You know, we have to fight this thing as one fight. You know, we got to fight this thing as one fight. And as for the guy with the dirty water, I there's a fire hydrant next to me that I know if they open it now, the kind of water that can come up with, I would like for them to open that, catch one of the tankers full, and take it in front of his house and let him drink that water until the tank goes empty. Let him see what it is to have nasty water, not only looking nasty, but smelling nasty as well. You know, I am old, but I know when water used to be without taste, without color, and without smell. And anytime that you have water and it has one of those things missing,
It's no
it
longer
is not
water.
pure water anymore. It is something else. You know, but even if it is sugar, it is sugar water. It's not pure water anymore. You know, so I am pleading with Barbados, with the people from the north, St. Lucie, Carter's Parish, St. Peter's that has that same problem. And I think maybe Parish St. Andrew, not so sure. But I'm pleading with everybody to come out. Come out. It ain't making a difference who you vote for. Come out. You're suffering, all of you suffering together. You know, let us do this thing. Let us do this thing together. Let us show that we deserve better. We deserve better. Honestly. You guys that sorry. You guys that don't go through this really, really don't understand it. You know, you already don't understand it. When I get up on mornings and the water is slightly brown, that is when it's good water.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? You know what it is that sometimes you go and turn on go in the bathroom and turn on the shower and the water smell ugly. You understand? And there's a picture there that you have with a washing machine. Actually, that was my washing machine that water.
Wow. So it's it's actually real.
Yes.
Because some people will think that people are doing, Zico doing stuff to the water, but it's actually real.
It's
Since you're,
actually real.
and we actually have it in this ad that's coming up. But to continue, and then when you take a break, then we're going to play the ad. Go ahead, Mr. Mark.
So you know, the problem is real. The problem is real, and what worries me is that school children now have to walk with bottled water. Maybe some of the schools have some of these little dispensers and that sort of stuff. But we know children like to go and turn on the pipe and drink water. Who are going to police the children, these little children all the time to keep them from going to the pipe? You know, this is not right. I mean, this is not right. Well, it's not as far as I know, but as far right that I'm talking about Ignatius Bar, I don't think that they have any special tank that the water truck coming full up. I know they have a tank, but I think it's for catch water, like when the water goes off. But I don't think that they have. Speaking on the subject correction, but I don't think they have a tank that the water authority coming full up for those little children to get water from. Well, you know, everybody know that the new standpipe is the tank, you know. But how do you pay a bill for something that you can't use? And people trying to justify that you should continue to pay the bill for something that you can't use. You know,
Yeah.
it is crazy.
But you know, Mark, let me ask you something, Mr. Baker. Where in St. Lucie do you live?
Pike Corner.
You're in Pie Corner. So you're saying that there are some areas that the people are getting nice clean water, and but there are quite a number of areas that they are getting that kind of that brown water.
Yes. I don't know if it's nice clean, but it might be clearer than the ones that I'm getting. You know, I think that, you see, the way the pipes are run all around the place, it is crazy. I think that Allendale, right, gets fairly clean water. And there are 1 or 2 spots, you know, but most of St. Lucie water is not clear. And like I said, sometimes it look clear like when it's coming out the pipe, but if you put a container on the and catch the water, you recognize that it's not clear.
Not clear, yeah. So you really have to be careful with it.
Yeah, I mean, let me tell you how bad it would be sometimes. You go into the bathroom to use the bathroom to pass water. I tell yourself, when I buy and flush the toilet, but I ain't that no buy and flush the toilet. The toilet was flushed.
Was flushed already.
Look the same way.
But you know, Mr. Baker, somebody has to me, you know, this is part of the solution right here. What if the people of St. Lucie and St. Peter decide they just stop paying water bills? I know the minister, Peter Phillips is the name. Did I say that right? He says, you know, that it's you know, it's wrong to tell people that not to pay the bill. Really, people who are not getting service, that you are saying that is wrong for them to not pay the bill. It's not responsible. Because Mr. Thorne was you know, there are some people who are saying, I can't remember if it was Mr. Thorne was saying that, and he's saying it's irresponsible. But you've got to get really, really serious with them on this issue. That's my view on it. What's your view, sir?
Yes, and I am not only that. I'm also thinking and reaching out to any lawyer who is willing to take a fight for the people in St. Lucie to put the water authority in court, because rightfully they're not fulfilling the contract.
You're correct.
And there must be some person out there that is willing to come and fight the fight for the people in St. Lucie. I mean, honestly, when looks, let me tell you something. You could start to wash your clothes. So the thing now is that you're going to turn on the water and watch it catching. And you say, yes, this look good enough. But by the time you put your clothes in the machine and the new machines and it locked down and it start to rinse, you know, you like, I've got a white shirt, but it used to be white. It's no gray. And
you should bring it to the march, you know, because we're telling people to bring a bottle of water.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Listen, folks, bring the evidence. Bring the evidence to the march, because they love to say we're making up things. Bring the evidence to the march, you know, Zico. Bring a bottle, a small, not too heavy because you have to walk far. bring a bottle, take off the label off of it, no label, but bring a bottle, or somebody catch some bottles. You have that, you have an abundance of that water at your house, Mark. So fill up some of the water bottles that you have there, so that some of us, I will tie one on me and walk with it. I'll walk with a bottle of St. Lucie dirty water, because we have to have the evidence. Bring the shirt that mash up. So when I want you to talk on the truck, Mark, and bring
That's
the
not a
shirt.
problem.
I
But
hold up the shirt and let them see the shirt.
that
That
is
is the
not
white shirt
that
that
is
has
not a
been
problem.
destroyed.
But
Yeah.
you know that when we had the motorcade, we were there together.
Yes.
So it's not a problem for me to speak on the truck.
And demand
I'm not frightened for this.
that all 29 of them in a line drink a bottle of that same water to give you all a level of reassurance. That is
Listen,
so
every day for at least 2 weeks. Every day for at least 2 weeks. Because trust me, it isn't easy. It is not easy. You know, you have to be constantly scrubbing your toilet bowl. Not the ends, don't have to scrub them constantly, but I mean the color. It turns everything. I actually have a picture that I'm going to send to you, Miss Leaks, of when they did a flushing. And I only found that tonight. When they do the flushing, the water that is on the ground look like the shirt that you have there that says Mick couldn't care less. Honestly. Honestly, you know. And I was hoping that this week that they will come and flush it so that I could actually do a video. But the smart, they didn't come. They didn't come. Honest, and I can say this. When Alex Eiffel, I think that he's retired now. On Saturdays, he would come to flush the main by main. And he would come and knock on the door because we sat down side on each other at school. And he would say to me or my brother, don't use the water right now. Give it about an hour. Because once he flushes it, you know, it just stirs up the whole thing. So it is not easy. It is not easy. You know? And I'm not even going to get into the part talking about where people don't have water for 4 and 5 days and all that kind of stuff. Right? Because to be honest, sometimes we guess it better do without it. Because it is nothing that you can use. It is nothing that you can use. You know, and people think that is a joke. I mean, it comes, you know, I'm in a number of chats and people will message me on mornings, ask me, Brother Mark, what color water you got there? You got Morby? You know, you got fruit juice? And when I tell them that, well, I got apple juice, that is when it's clear water for me.
My question to you is this. To you is this: have they spoken to the St. Lucie people and tell them what was the reason behind the water looking the way it looks?
They had a town hall meeting, right? That I attended, and to be quite frank, if they know what the problem is, they're not saying. To be quite frank, if they know what the problem is, they're not saying, because a lot of things not making sense. And I can say this to you. There are a number of places where mains got changed out and the water's still rusty. So that tells me, don't get me wrong, some of the rust would come from old rusty mains, which were metal or cast iron or whatever it was. But it tells me it has to be the source. Because if you change out mains and the water still rusty, still dirty, it has to be the source. But what I would like to ask though is that I remember some time ago they were talking about a desal plant at the Hope and I don't want to quote figures, but the kind of figures that I was hearing is that desal plant would have been able to supply all of St. Lucie and part of St. Peter. I don't know what has become of that. I don't want to go political, but that plant was running under the last government. I don't know if it's running now, and if it is running now, it is downscale.
Then my second question would be also too, in terms of when you had the town hall meeting, did they give you a time where it say it would be rectified?
Okay, let me put it this way. At the beginning of the meeting, we were told that they were mandated to finish this thing in a year, right? So it tells me that I'm not a scholar and I ain't too bright. But I know if you mandate somebody, it means that it ain't coming from you. Somebody bigger than you give you an order, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it tells me that water authority really didn't care if we get clean water or not. But somebody senior to them give them that order. And for the amount of time that they were laying pipes and running pipes, and water should at least start to look better. You understand me? Water should at least start to look better. But I think that I need to come on the show fairly regular, because I came on Sunday night and Monday the water was not too ugly.
Oh my goodness! I sometimes I wonder, if this all isn't all planned, but this is no laughing matter. And yes, we were laughing and you have a lot of fun at the beginning of this particular segment as we talk about the water. But really, this is not funny, because when you think that people have to consume this, Zico, it's not something you're wearing on your body, even though you shouldn't put on dirty things on your body. But you have to put it. You have to consume it. Well, this is something that's going around. It wasn't created by us, but I thought that it is so applicable. Dave, are you in a position there you could play this for us, Dave? Let me wait on Dave to play it. Where we were supposed to have former Senator. Dave, give me a little moment. Let me apologize here. We former Senator Gill, and I'm trying to find his number to apologize to him. But the program has just taken on a different life, and so I'm so sorry that I would not be able to have him on. We had even invited Rose to come and join this discussion tonight. Folks, I want to apologize, Senator Gill, if you're listening. I am not, for some reason, can't find your number, and we spoke today. Somebody they like my phone. They like my phone, Zico. They love my phone. So it's been giving trouble for a little bit. So Senator Gill, sincere apologies. We're gonna make it up. We're gonna make it up to you. But Dave, go ahead and play this for me. Thank you so much, Dave. Thank you. That's an important challenge. Did you all see the challenge there? If Dave could move it along and let us see the challenge. Thank you, Dave. Thanks for what you do. Thank you so much. So efficient. Look, it says the people of Barbados challenged Mia Motley and her BLP administration to demonstrate their strong confidence in the safety of the St. Lucie Brownwater by hosting their upcoming conference in St. Lucie and serve the brownwater to all government ministers, including the PM, and do so publicly. We don't want to hear that you drank it in behind closed doors, but put it on the table. Mark, what do you think about that challenge?
I am in agreement. because he who feels it knows it. Right? This is okay for for somebody to say, man, you can do this and you can do that, but they're not gonna do it because you and I and the whole of the world knows that water cannot be good for consumption. I don't even think that you should get that water to your animals. Honestly speaking.
I got lost for words. I surprised that there's not even a bigger uproar, especially among the people in St. Lucie. I mean, seriously, I knew for sure, there was wrong water, but actually looking at it like this, I mean, like, I am surprised that there's not a bigger uproar where this is concerned. But this is ridiculous.
And that is why when I came on, I pleaded because I really believe that we are sitting down and not doing enough. You're saying no, not doing enough. But for all intents and purposes, I would agree with you. Have the water on the conference table, and the men got holy conference in St. Lucie. They just got to drink the St. Lucie water. They just got to drink the St. Lucie water. So I mean, I'm trying to encourage as many people as I can to come up on Saturday. What I want you to do for me, Miss Weeks, is to send me the advert that I can share among my people. Among some, I've got a lot of people that don't live in St. Lucie, people that live overseas, and they sympathize with me. They'll be like, Mark, I don't know how you guys can make it, how you guys can do it. Because, okay, you see this bottle of water here that look like ginger beer?
Yeah.
That's a good day of water.
Wow.
That's a water from a good day. You understand? That's water from a good day. So it is not easy. It is not easy. And let me tell you, if you know me well, when I travel like to town or in areas that I've got friends and they ask me what you want, I tell them, listen, I want some good piped water. And I would get a glass of water and drink it and it, to me it just tastes better than almost
the bottled water.
because
But Mark, hold it right there, Mark. There is a caller on the line. And it looks like it's usually. I think it might be a St. Lucie person. I'm not sure. Good night and welcome to the Marcia Week Show.
Good night, Marcia.
Yes, good night. Just speak up a little louder. Can we hear her? Dave monitors it for me. Yes, loud and clear, Dave says. So go right ahead.
I'm sitting here and I'm listening to my brother explaining the situation in St. Lucie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also looking at the comments that persons are placing. I'm wondering if persons in St. Lucie, what we are doing, if we are happy with it. Please let me know that the persons in St. Lucie are far from happy.
You're not happy.
They're not happy. The acting CEO of the Barbados Water Authority has further troubled the people of St. Lucie. His words were insensitive. It shows indifference and ignorance to our pain and suffering. I would suggest that he visit St. Lucie and demonstrate how we should drink this water. Should we drink it with our eyes closed, our nose plugged, or filters in our mouth? Can I give you a little idea of the pain, of the sufferings of the people in St. Lucie on a daily basis?
Yes. Just before you go on, let me check it. Guys, are you hearing her?
I can hear.
Yeah.
You can hear. Okay, go ahead, ma'am. Keep speaking. Yes, loudly.
would wake up on mornings and you turn the tap on, and the smell alone, you wonder if you're connected to sewage. And this is my experience. I'm giving you my experience over the years, not over a day or a week or a month. This has been going on over the years. And I just want to say now that all of the water looks a little clearer. But people in St. Lucie do not trust the Barbados Water Authority and the government anymore, because today it might get clear and tomorrow it will go back wrong. As a matter of fact, looking at water now, because we have been so used to this colored water, I cannot say if the water is clear or if it is brown, because I cannot judge anymore. I have to have a bottle of other water to test whether my water is clear. We've gotten so used to it now, and it is ridiculous. You're going to wash your my machine has stopped working, and I choose now to wash my tools.
Yes.
What the water that is coming up? Can you imagine you have dirty clothes to wash, and when you look at the water, you have to wash them in. The water is dirty. It is so frustrating, and you wonder when you're finished, did I do anything to these people better than the situation they were in? They're still dirty, and they are discolored. So we look at our space, station stain, bathroom, the toilet stain, the kettle stain, washing machine, function. When you go to wash a car, if you have a white car, and you happen to put that first one on the car to wet it, and you clean up your flesh, they are brown, and you wonder what kind of damage you are doing to your vehicles. I don't talk about having to bathe in the water. You put on all kinds of soap, and you think you're cleaning your skin, and then you have to rinse your skin in this dirty water. Have you been? What is it doing? Real a woman every day. I'm going to tell the mental effect. Every day to your body. You wonder if it is the water. Your skin might be burning. You wonder if it's the water. And you go on and you wonder what is this water doing to your body. I would like to send a message to the Minister of Water Resources.
That's the Prime Minister. Isn't that the Prime Minister?
Yes, ma'am.
The Minister of Water Resource is the Prime Minister. Somebody's asking if it's Santia Bradshaw. It is the Prime Minister of this country.
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
We were told to give you some time to get this from fall. The people in St. Lucie have been patient. My MP has said to us, maybe years to have these more kids. Pay the bills, gotta pay the bills. I know when you see what really to us is to hear this deal says that personally he would drink the water. So in other words, the people in St. Lucie can drink the water. And immediately all trust in the Minister of Water Resources is gone. All trust in our MP is gone. All trust in the Barbados Water Authority is gone. And we are wondering if are they really trying to solve this problem, or are they playing us? Are they playing us?
Yeah.
And what are we to believe? What are we to believe? And then the question comes, because after going through this thing for years, things begin to come into your head. And I know that we talk about conspiracy theories. But do the people of believe the Lucy? Say Lucy, your mom, for these presumed.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering the same thing. Are they hoping the people will get up and leave, and they get it for themselves?
Yes, we come to understand problem solved, but we need to relocate your own. It's just going to happen. You know, I wonder if happening what seeing what is going on in Nevis that we look at the next seeing things that can look cheap.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I'm really wondering. But caller, let me. We have some callers that have been calling, and you can always call back on Friday. But I want to ask you something, ma'am. Are you in a position to come to the march on Saturday? And are you telling your neighbors about it? Because we're inviting people from St. Lucie to come down and join with the national issues. We have the taxes. You have you have all kinds of different issues. We have the whole thing about the immigration bill and the citizenship bill. All of these that we are talking about this week as well, including the water. We are asking you to bring some bottles of the brown water, and we will carry it as evidence to show the people here in St. Michael and wherever we're from that it is real. Are you going to be able to make it on Saturday?
Marcia, I am planning, life is spared, God be willing, to be at that march.
Okay, so you're coming. Can you talk to your neighbors about it? Bring out the children, the young people.
Been talking to persons about it as well. But I'm planning to be there, like here, with my mother. If need be,
Yes. Yes. Well, caller, thank you so much for coming. When you come, please come and say hello so I know exactly who I spoke to on the phone. And once again, thanks for calling, and my heart goes out to you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. I do have some other callers to get in touch with, but Zico, let me go to you, because you're hearing. I saw your face when the caller was sharing with us what her daily life is like in St. Lucie. What's going through your mind, Zico?
The first thing I just shot that the people of St. Lucie is so lackadaisical and not. I would be afraid to the PM. I would be at the Parliament building every single day. I would have had 400, 500, 600. I mean, like, seriously. And then the next thing is this is my opinion on the water. Clearly looking at the deposits within the water, you can see that that's either clear magnesium or iron, which influencing the color of the water. And if it is, or if
Zico, give me a moment.
Yeah, go ahead,
We have a caller. Good night, caller. Good night, caller. Oh boy.
Hello.
Yes. Good night, caller. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I hear you, well. Hello.
Yes. Okay. Go right ahead. Thank you for calling. Go right ahead, sir. How can we have?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I want to ask the gentleman from Southeast a question. Is all the water in St. Lucie is coming from Allendale? That's the only pump station in Allendale that's where the water coming from in St. Lucie?
No.
Yeah, I'm here, you.
No. There are a number of.
Go ahead. I would direct my call to the fellow gentleman there from St. Lucie. I want to know if all the water that is pumping to St. Lucie is coming from the Allendale pumping station.
No.
Now, my whole theory about the whole situation, Allendale was a factory. And I believe that is the syrup that probably gets thrown into the well that is coming out now. You hear me, Martha?
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear. And
yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
But
yeah.
Can I ask you something, sir?
Yeah, can you hear him? Mark is speaking to you.
Yeah, I hear him now, yeah.
Yes, go ahead, Mark.
Okay, can I ask you something?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, if I am not saying that it's not the syrup that was showing you well that coming out now, but don't you think that if that was the case, that they would not be able to test it and tell you that is what it is? I'm just because I will also say this to you, most of the folks at Allendale gets clean water.
People across Allendale get clean water?
Most of the people at Allendale get clean water.
So it's a mystery. The only solution then is to move from the Allendale pump station and dig another well and see what will happen.
But listen to what I'm going to say to you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Barbados is 166 square miles. And
yes,
all around Barbados has water. All around Barbados has water. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We could build a really nice desal plant and all these wells that are giving problems, shut them off.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You understand?
That's your answer.
Listen to me. But we keep fighting with wells that we are saying that it is silk and we are saying that it is this and it is that. Boss, they have to come and tell you, and say, look, if you got old car and you ain't trouble, I think, you have to come and tell you, say, I got to put this old car and get another one. You can't keep fighting with it. You understand? You can't keep fighting with it.
Yeah.
And that's
I
what
agree
I was
with you,
asking
sir.
earlier about the desal plant at the Hope. Right? Barbados is 166 square miles. And all around it has water. All around it has water. So people in St. Lucie is like who Bob Marley sing about, and the abundance of water is food thirsty.
People go thirsty?
Yes.
Don't do that. Don't do that because St. Lucie people is not fools.
But that was saying, but that is how we are being treated. You understand what I'm saying? That's how we are being treated.
Yeah, I understand.
Right.
I understand, sir. But you think it's sabotage then?
I wouldn't go out to say that because that is something that you have to have proof to, right? But sometimes I'm not going to tell that it does not cross my mind. I tell you the truth, right? But it is, and let me tell you how ironic it is. The goodly gentleman that says that we could drink the water. Why don't we give the water to some of these hotels, some of these big nice hotels on the South Coast? And this is my argument, like I say all the time. If the water is so good to drink, then why do you go outside of St. Lucie to bring water to give the people in St. Lucie?
Good question, sir.
Make it make sense.
Another question to you, sir.
Yes, please.
Another question to you, sir. Why do you take the minimum wage off for your water, which is $35, and don't take off the source tax, which is $47, I think? I think the source tax should be taken off.
Boss, I don't think I should pay a bill at all.
You should pay at all, but if they're going to remove the minimum wage, which is less than the source tax, I believe this minimum wage and the source tax should remove.
But I believe so too.
I feel that true.
But for some unknown reason, we don't deserve to get what we pay for, and we don't deserve to let anybody come and say, well, listen, this will be right for the people of St. Lucie. At least for the next year, 6 months, 3 weeks. Listen, we will not give them a bill. The people know who get in nasty water better than me,
Yeah.
They know the areas.
Right. Well, I think that one should move from St. Lucie, go more Saturday and Marcy and the tens and thousands and
but that is what, my brother, that is what I was advocating for. And he tell me, come on, You know,
Yeah, right now.
let me shut down St. Lucie and move up to town
Yes.
for that one there.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let me
Because
move up
we'll
to
have a
town for
good
that
case
one
on
there.
one hand. Good case on one hand. We'll have a one case.
Yeah, and I was
And I
asking
don't.
earlier if there's anywhere or anybody that has a legal mind that you know that is willing to take the challenge for the people of St. Lucie. I mean, this can only
I
happen in
suppose that
Barbados, you know.
I suppose that nobody has. I'm no lawyer, no try to start talk to one to see where we could go with it. But you find that lawyers will go and represent murderers and think fast, Lord. Everything gone crazy.
Well,
Everything gone crazy. But sir, go to our service, go Saturday downtown to Master Week show, and we're gonna make some nice with Master Week. You have his big truck.
Yes, we're having a big trouble. Are you going to be there? Listen, we have
I'll be there. I'll be there.
you're there. We're going to have the big truck.
I-
And Seco is going to be there. Mark is going to be there for sure. Sorry, we're going to miss Dr. Ferdinand. He's
Yeah.
to take
Yeah.
his wife, to surgery. But you know, it's great. It's going to be a powerful time. Everybody needs to come. Bring something to make noise with, whistle, a horn, conch shells. Send the people. Bring the bottles of water. Right, everybody bring your water.
As a matter of fact, Marcia, that Saturday I can wear the musty shirt.
Either wear it or have it in your hand. Something.
Yeah, it might be better. It might be better to hold it in my hand is right, because I have to walk. So.
Yes. Well, caller, thank you for calling, and I hope to see you on Saturday, 10 o'clock.
If you don't see me down by this Casanova, for sure you'll see me by Kia Shepherd. You see me last night.
Okay, by Cave Shepherd. Okay, all right. All the very best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my
brother.
brother.
I pick up from by Kia Shepherd.
Yes, God bless.
But this is my conclusion, especially where this is concerned. And this is just thinking critically. Regardless if it is deposits either from clear iron or magnesium or just busted, old, deteriorated, rusty pipes, the reality of it is that it needs to be flushed in order for the water to be cleared again. I believe, this is what I believe, my opinion is that I don't believe they want to observe the cost that it will take to flush that much water down the pipe. So drink the water, eventually you can get clear. When they get clear, I believe that's what it is. And to tell the people it's okay to drink the water, to encourage y'all to continue to use the water because eventually it's going to get clear. The reason why they can't come and tell y'all, well, is X, Y, Z, or it, because the problem is rectified. But the reality of it is that the pipes need to be flushed, regardless if it was a pipe that was repaired or is a pipe that needs to be repaired. At the end of the day, it will need to be flushed. But I don't think that they want to observe the cost, or that the fact that if they do, it will affect the storage of the amount of water that they do have. So, worst case scenario, allow the people to continue to use the water, and then eventually it should be cleared in a matter of a couple of months.
It will clear
in a couple of months, and that is the best way, because really and truly to tell y'all that, all right, we can try to flush it and then we gotta deal with the cost that it will. No, deal with it, and then hopefully in the next couple of months it is resolved. I believe that's what it is, because it does not matter if it is, as I say once again, it does not matter if it is rust, clear, magnesium, coming off the limbs. It does not matter. At the end of the day, the problem is that you still need to flush the pipes. But I don't believe they want to observe. I tell you, I don't believe they want to deal with the cost of it. And the rectification of saying, well, cheese on the amount of water that we will have to flush to clear these pipes. I don't want to take that loss. Allow the people to continue to use it, because we've rectified the problem. But we are looking to take that cost. So they got to deal with it and pay the bills.
Yeah, there you go. Mark, what are your thoughts about that? And just to remind people that you can call in. Saturday is the march, and it's 10 o'clock. Those of you who have your shirts, wear the shirts. We did not print any of those red shirts because people don't want us to print them red. we will. I'm hoping to have at least a sign with it. That me, I couldn't care less. At least one big sign with that on it. but we don't have shirts because we have to focus the funds on paying the truck. We had $300 left back from last time. Yay! So we're not starting at scratch. So we just need $1,700 more to pay. And somebody actually brought something. Okay, so $1,600 left, guys. $1,600 we have left to pay for the truck. All right. And so 10 o'clock is when we're going to be there on Saturday. Those of you know to pray. Those listen, we take this thing serious, Mark. But I did ask your question, Mark. So go right ahead. What are your thoughts about what Zika has said?
No, I listen to him. It makes sense because if you could get the people to drink off the water, eventually it will get clear. Eventually it will get clear. But you know this. We always say that Barbados is a water scarce country.
Exactly.
For eons. So what happens though is that if we run off all the water in St. Lucie, it means that the ones that we got to sell the tourist line, we ain't got to sell. Because you got to pump that somewhere else. Right? So like what he's saying makes sense. So if he could get them to drink it and use it, eventually it's gonna
But the thought of that is so horrible to think that's what they could be doing. But let's we have a caller on the line. Let's see if we can hear caller. Good night.
Hello, Marcia. I know. Yeah, I was so welcome here for a call, but as a youngster, we used to crash parties. even if,
that's quite okay because
but not in a crude way. No. We would go and they see that you're well behaved, fellas. Tell you come in. No, this is really my forte, and this is about analytical chemistry. This is not engineering. Engineering is putting together working parts, right? Well, it is. Chemical engineering is a bit more diverse and complex, but this is the analytical side of it. I came in, I think it's about the very first was, and this is, the waters are only tainted. And I've been listening. It has turned me on, pun unintended. It has turned me on from day one. And I saw videos of the filters. And I saw videos of the sediment. And from day one, I said, this is not iron deposits. This is a greasy sludge, which is clear. Part of St. Lucie sits on the Scotland district, and you know the soil type of the Scotland district. Now I listened. Another thing we were trained to do. I remembered I had a instructor, a lab assistant, a lab technician in Quebec. And he always said to us, your eye is the best analytical tool. What the eye tells you, go in that direction. Go and analyze that. And my eye has told me that is clear. The next thing is, by listening and by a process of elimination, I may be wrong, but I'm telling you what conclusion I've come to. And I heard a day this week, one who called in and said he is a chemical engineer. He said in his estimation, Allendale is the culprit. I listened 2-3 nights with Knox on and other people, and your guy from NIS who lives in St. Lucie, Mr. Strickland, and I came to the conclusion, I think he did too, that Allendale is it. Now, why would it be Allendale? I'm of the opinion that part, and I said it then, I said it after, and I say it now, that part of the geology, part of the under earth has broken away. You know, like how we had that cave-in at Britton's Hill? Part of the integrity of that well has been breached. The mere fact that the flushing isn't all that is going to happen, it is going to get progressively worse.
Now, I think that the Highlander rainfall, and look at it, each time you have heavy rainfall, I have noticed the calls have increased. Okay? Now, that being the case, I said back then that it is clear. Now, clear has several different elements in it. I've recently heard somebody say pink, but it isn't the best when it comes to colors. But if it is pink, it means that there is cobalt. Cobalt is the only element that gives a pink color with water. If you only show a pink, a cobalt containing tissue, a tissue that we have with water, just show it, it's going to go pink. Now, back then I said, don't waste time. Shut down Allendale and run some water from St. Thomas, following the highway into St. Lucie. St. Thomas, I don't think there's another parish that gets water. That's where the springs are, and that's where the underground lakes are. Run it from St. Thomas. But my humble opinion is, again, I am commenting as my mind leads me. My humble opinion is, if government should do such a thing, they will be breaching a contract with a contractor who has imported or has on standby for import millions of dollars of pipeline. And they are afraid that if they breach the contract, they would have to pay out millions upon millions. Now, the other thing that I'm of the opinion is you remember back then they told you to boil the water? Marcia, this guy I watch is most obnoxious, and I turn my television off. That's the honest truth. That's the honest truth. Now, in my estimation, back then they told you boil the water. You do not boil my water. And he's saying that there's nothing unhealthy or dangerous about it. He's only speaking about the organic substances, whether it is, they can't test for viruses. And you cannot hold something like that and send it overseas and then bring it back. You have to test like every 3, 4, 6 hours, not today and not tomorrow. So I'm saying even the mere fact that people, and I would like to laud Mr. P. Anytime I hear Mr. P start to speak about that, I stop what I'm doing. I stop going very, I listen to him. I listen to him. And he has come out now, the boss. People were shutting him down. I said, no. If you go to England tomorrow, I would see people who protested in Trafalgar Square 30 years when I first went to England about PLO versus Jewish Zionism and racism. Speak about it every day. And I'm saying that the mere fact that people are telling you that it smells bad, it's malodorous, it contains decaying substances, decaying organic matter. Oh, wow. And I'm telling you, it is decaying matter. Whether it's dead animals, dead protozoa, dead bacteria, dead, whatever it is decaying matter. And that's why the lady told you it smells like sewage. I would not feed that to my chickens. No. The other thing which I think is happening, this is a question that you would give students first year university or care. Give them the thing and then ask them, comment on it. So I am commenting on it. I am saying to you that they have upped, in my estimation, they have upped the amount of chlorine. Now, when you up the amount of chlorine, you are potentiating or making more powerful or more concentrated a trace element. Trace elements are the elements which carry color. Cobalt, nickel, manganese, chromium, platinum, palladium, they are the ones, and it is deep science. They have calcium, yes, we get the yellowing, green, yellow, sodium, white, magnesium, whitish, silver, gray. Children have to know these things for CXC, and they have to know why at K. So when I speak, I speak authoritatively. And I would like to see that man who told you to go and drink the water. And I would like to know if he's the same man that told you to boil that water. That water should not even go to certain plants. It would kill them. because I am of the opinion, my reason for saying that is it has been spiked and overspiked with chlorine. All right, so you told people to do two things. Boil clear water. Again, that would make the deposits more concentrated. Come back now, if it is pink, whatever, orange. The only thing pink I would drink is the pink gin and tonic. The pink, orange, what have you. Do not boil that. Do not drink it. You should pay not for the water, you don't have any thing down there, nor for the sewage tax. How could we go and stand up at UN and talk about things that are going on in Gaza and don't concern us? And the UN said that water, World Health, which is an arm, World Health says clean water. Water we were taught in third form has no scent, has no color, has no taste. But in Barbados, it has taste because we are bordered by seawater. And that is what gives it that nice, tangy taste. So he could, as the youngsters would say, he could reel and come again. I think he was most obnoxious when he made that statement. As my departed friend Wendell Callender would have said, he is obnoxious. And I
rest your case.
Pardon?
Listen, according to Dunk's man and all these people taught me tonight, you need to shut it around gate mouth, right?
What's that? It's going down.
No, my volume for some reason is low. I was saying that he need to shut his round gate mouth. Right?
I will go there. And before I go, let me tell you, Uber and them can't go in Jamaica and Trinidad and behave like how they behave. I heard a woman last night say she's the CEO for Uber and says now what they're so delighted to see how they were received in Barbados. Although I understood there was a meeting earlier on today which told them, no way, you ain't allowed in the port. And she said they're going to extend it now 2 to 3 hours. If 400 taxis extend to 2-3 hours, then a taxi man in Barbados would get a job, Marcia. They're like they hear Bajans are ignorant. These people like they hear Bajans are ignorant. My father, Marcia, sorry to hug me, sure if you think I am, or people think I am.
1 more minute, I have another call.
1 more minute, and I can tell you, I go, why not? My father told me in 1966 when Barbados went independent, he turned the family car into taxi to link up with the cruise industry that was now taking off. And the car was a convertible top Zephyr 6. It used to belong to the Drummonds from St. Joseph, St. John. A beautiful car, my old man said, but that time you didn't have the big taxi thing on the top. But the old man turned it into a taxi. So you see, people use assets to work for them, whether it is Airbnb or a taxi, or turn a private car into taxi when they get retrenched, as has been the case in recent years. Marcia, thank you, and sorry for crashing the party. Ever so welcome. Wait for your call. I'm going to wait for your call whenever.
Yeah, thank you, former Senator David Gale, for being such a good sport. I know you watched the show and you saw what was happening, and we appreciate you. He's also a former MP, by the way. Which constituency that was again, sir?
St. Michael South Central. I was there before Richard Seeley, just after Richie Haynes. Okay. And before Marsha Call.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Who won't be back there next time? Good night.
Good night. All righty then. Good night. Okay, we have and we are going to close shop until Friday. Caller, go right ahead. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show.
Yes, good night, Marcia.
Good night.
You're doing a good job.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Let me just check to see if the others can hear. Can everybody hear?
Tell us speak.
Yeah,
just a little more
louder, and make sure your phone is turned up.
Every Sunday, people the reason there's so much people dying from St. Lucie, and definitely feel the water.
Yeah, wow. Well, I really hope that oh goodness, something has to be done for them. Something has to be done. Are you going to come out on Saturday to the march?
Yes.
Yes. So I will see you. I will see you, and I'm hoping the people from St. Lucie will bring a bottle of water, a small bottle that you can carry. I told them don't bring any too much of big bottle because it's gonna be hard to. But a small little bottle would be good, and we just can hold up the bottle as evidence.
Okay. Oh, God love you, and it's going to work out fine.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All
God
right.
bless you.
Bye.
Yes. Thank you. And I look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Please come and say hello. Okay? Thank you. Yes. Yes. Oh boy, I just, I get so much, Zico, I don't know if you get it when you travel the road.
Yep.
People come up to you and thank you for coming on the show. And do you get that, Zico, as you travel?
Yeah, I definitely do. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a pleasure to serve the people of Barbados and to be that channel.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Definitely is.
But Mark, I want to have you say a few words again to the people of St. Lucie.
Okay. St. Lucie, St. Lucie, St. Lucie. It is time to get up and fight for clean water. You deserve it. We have people from other parishes that are fighting for us. We must fight alongside them. So come Saturday at 10 o'clock, we'll be moving off from Massey Car Park and we'll be heading all the way up to Independence Square. If you can't make all the walk, join us halfway, join us, line the route. Line the route, show your support. If people are trying to help you, you must try to help yourselves. So bring your noise makers, bring your drums, bring your whatever you have. Snow corn horns, make some noise. But whatsoever you do, come out and show the authorities that we mean business. Because in numbers, there is strength. If you continue to sit down and tuck your head between your legs, they are always going to think that you are docile and they're not going to pay any mind. You must get up, speak up, and that way, bring the fight to the authorities. Enough is enough. And as Papa Samuel said, Lord, I can't take it no more. Come out, come out, everybody.
Lord, I can't take it no more. Yes, go. Zico, final word before we go.
Yes, to everybody, the loyal opposition, to everybody who have a grievance, everybody that have something that we want change. I'm telling you, come out. If it affect one, it affect all. We can no longer turn a blind eye. We can no longer say, well, it does not affect me, so there's no need for me to go up there and march. Trust me, you're going to want it for you when it eventually affects you. So let me come out, let me march, let me keep some noise, let me bring the issues, whether it's the taxi man, whether it's the citizen and immigration act. Don't care what it is. If it's something that you believe that you want to see change, a minister came out and said, we just listen to the people. So if they listen to the people, let me keep some noise. Let them listen to the noise. So people come out in with the numbers and let them listen to the noise. So they will understand that change is a must. And we will no longer sit down. We will no longer be silent. So come people and let them listen.
Let them listen. And I tell you, the last thing I will say, and I'm joining with Shirley, Miss PM, we mean Rand Gate business. You understand? Good. All right, folks. All right, folks. Good night, everybody. Thank you, Dave, so much. Thanks to, oh my goodness, doctor from Nevis. Oh my, he was so powerful. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and for educating us. Thank you to everybody who joined. Remember, I have to tell you something. Remember that you have to. We have an opportunity on the 27th to submit written objection to the citizenship bill and the immigration bill. So this is a reminder to everybody to begin to put your thoughts together, all right, for the citizenship bill and the immigration bill, so that we can, all of it can be submitted to the parliament. Those of you who want to do public probably Zico, or want to go into parliament, start putting your speeches together. It's going to be on the 27th. All right, and we will give you some more instructions as we go along. Okay, good night, folks. Oh, great show. Yes, Angela, great show. Good night, good night, good night. Don't know what Dave has for us tonight. Dave, nothing? Did we just sign off? We're signing off just like this? Oh, boy, it seems that way. Seems that way. All right, good night. I'm ending the stream, Dave. Bye-bye, guys.
All right.
Bye.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.